Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
Yeah. Hi, Donnie.
Hi, Sean.
I realized that every time that we listen to that song, it kind of just gets our head bobbing. So I decided today I was going to scream at you instead.
Got to get in the mood.
Actually, I probably should bring it down a little bit. We're not screaming at each other the whole time.
That's true.
We don't really fight. Not that I'm looking for a fight.
Not in a long time.
Not in a long time. It's been people might be very surprised to hear that. Maybe they're not surprised, but
I don't know.
I wonder what.
I don't get the impression that you argue with many people or often.
I'm trying to be better about it. I feel like I
used to argue a lot with Bobby.
Oh yeah,
and people liked that.
Yeah, I didn't do it for a reaction.
Kind of gimmick.
I couldn't help myself though. Like that was just.
He's easy to argue with.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
I argued with him too.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street. But yeah, I mean, I generally don't think you're not very combative like that. You're very, and it's like it's so cliche because of your Canadianness.
Oh, definitely.
But it definitely hits. Like the stereotype fits.
If the shoe
you're very
fits.
polite.
Yeah.
And you're very good at de-escalation.
Sometimes
I've argued.
Sometimes.
And I also feel like you don't argue with people that you're like not close with.
Yes, that is the thing.
Yeah, I definitely I feel I want to say like I know that about you, but I mean I definitely feel that about you. Like you're not going to argue with an acquaintance or a podcast guest.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah, you're never going to do that. And you're going to argue with somebody that you really like, something you've got some equity with.
Well, and also like that if we really want to get into it, like 90 seconds into it, it's like if I don't think that you're going anywhere, like if I think that we can have like a really tough conversation and you're not just gonna like peace out, then there's a level of trust there. And that's why maybe that's why Bobby and I just like we always like, well, you're not going anywhere, so here's how I really feel.
You feel safe.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I ever really consciously did that. Like, is this person going anywhere? No. All right.
Well, that's funny because that's when I said this earlier. It was last month when I was like, I like spicy, Sean.
Yeah.
And you were like, is this spicy? And I think Jace was like, is this spicy? But I had a lot of people that liked the tweet and agreed with me. So I think, but you're generally reserved.
Yeah. I don't
know. You come in a little, a little soft. But I know you when the mics aren't recording. I've seen the other side. I know that. I know it's there. I've seen it.
Well, and I've learned that people that actually can lead to mistrust or distrust. And people are like, what's happening there? We're not getting like I like to think of myself as fairly transparent, but every once in a while I'll like pull a punch or two.
There's a difference between being transparent and reckless. Right? Like you don't
agree.
have to go out just, scorch earth. That's more my style. Where I can just generally be kind of
like
reckless.
That too. That's awesome.
Like
but you're so great. You're actually like I'm usually exploring either my opinion or a thought or something, and like you're much quicker to like kind of hone in on what are you even trying to say? I'm like, where am I with this thing? So I'm wondering more often than not. You're a little bit more pointed.
You like to explore the space.
Explore the space.
Yeah. You're like, let's have this conversation about this. I'm like, no, it sucks.
Yeah. And you're always like, Chelsea is very much like that as well. Like she'll take like just come to a situation or a person, like basically make up her mind, and she's generally right.
I've always been that way.
Yeah, I admire that a lot.
I'm really. It's not. I don't think that's a thing to admire.
I don't know.
I think people do that sometimes, but as historically speaking, I am like a tough sell for most people. Most people, like I'm really kind of hit or miss. Like
I blame those people though. I
I'm not
hate
like an
hearing that.
associate. I'm not like
Yeah.
a kind of a friend. I'm not an acquaintance. That is
Mm-hmm.
not my case.
Yeah.
Especially like girls and dating. There
Mm.
is no in between.
Yeah.
Either girls dig it or they hate it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it goes it's not done me a lot of favors.
Yeah. It's because most people haven't like kind of rounded that corner when they realize that a person like that is actually really great to have around. You know, like everything stays so surface level, and like you don't want conflict, you don't want somebody to like tell you how it really is, but in the long run you really do want somebody to tell you how it really is every once in a while or all the time.
And I think it
So
can be helpful. I think it can be good in tough situations. It served me well. In other
definitely.
situations, it hasn't. Like at the
Yeah.
workplace, I don't think it's very good. My boss kind of manages around it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's not that I don't try to do better. Um, it's just that it's been so many years and I've tried so hard. It's just who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I
Embrace
kind of,
it.
yeah, I don't want to say embrace. It's just like you kind of get the good with the bad. Like
Sure.
I could come to work every day and be like, I'm not going to be like this. And then eventually it will happen
Mm-hmm.
because it is just who I am. It's how I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
So I try to make up for it in other areas, I guess. I try to
Like
make it
being right.
I try to make it worth it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm dependable. You can
Yeah.
count on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I try to make it worth it in other areas. So it's worth putting up with me when
Mm-hmm.
it's not going so well. When you're like, God, I really hate that guy sometimes.
Mm.
I hope there's a moment that you remember, you know, that my boss remembers, that my friends remember that I came through for them. And they're like, he's a good guy though.
I just feel like so much of it is like coming to understand like who the other person is. At least that was it for like once I got to know you much better, like we can still have disagreements and stuff, but it's never explosive, I don't think.
Yeah.
And Bobby just had no maybe this is like you as well, I'm not sure. Bobby, I'll stick to Bobby. There were definitely times where he just had absolutely no interest in like de-escalating. It was just like it would just keep going up and up and up. Yeah, we're
let's light the scandal.
It is happening. I think eventually I think we kind of like rubbed off on each other in all the ways. You could definitely see some of Bobby coming around in me and me coming in Bobby as well. So yeah. I was dancing around the rubbing and then I do that.
Just gonna let that sit in the ether for a minute.
Just gonna take a sip of my Diet Coke and see how that
marinate.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
we were very close.
I hope. I hope that this episode goes much better than our past episode.
Dude, I will say
I felt terrible.
You held it together though, because I would have been very frustrated. And you're like,
I was.
I know you were, but you didn't come across. I would say.
I just don't think the episode was very good. We barely even got started, and I did exactly what I said I did. I immediately tore everything apart.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I was down here for hours. So.
Yeah. Just disconnecting, reconnecting. Are you like?
Yeah, no, I rewired everything. I completely swapped out my entire USB interface, and I got rid of Razer everything.
Oh yeah, all the software.
I gave it all to my kid. So
hardware and everything. Oh
yeah, he's got the Razer keyboard and the Razer mouse with the Razer headphones that vibrate and they all sync up and they light together. He's got all of it. I was like, get out of my life.
Well, you know, these are the headphones. This is the only Razer thing that I have. Everything else is Corsair, my keyboard and mouse. And
I mean, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues since.
Yeah. None. That's how you jinx it right there. Yeah. Everything's been absolutely perfect. No problems whatsoever. It's been fine. Yeah. No, that's super frustrating, man. What's up, Brendan Myers in the chat? Yeah, there's nothing quite like, you know, stuff just breaking down. And every once in a while, I don't know if there's a timing for this for anybody. But when do you just delete everything and start over? Like not even just reconnecting, but like a fresh OS install. I feel like some people really geek out about that.
Reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was telling Jason Lacey that I do that with my Switch. I feel like every time I upgrade.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's all this constant, we've talked about for years with the Nintendo podcast about system transfers and all that. And every time I get a new Switch, I look at it as a time to like start fresh.
Yeah.
and I'll transfer my saves because it does it automatically. But I don't automatically I never transfer my games via the SD card because that takes forever.
Right.
And
Not
when
really
I
worth
just
it.
and when I re-download them, I think I end up keeping like an eighth of what I had on there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a time to cleanse.
Yeah, I just
or
go
purge.
through and I'm like, I'm never gonna play that again. Just
is that just like do you feel bad about that at all? Because
No.
I was doing the same thing. I was making some room. I can't remember what I was downloading, but I was maxed out and I had to delete a couple things. And there was a couple games where I was like, ooh, like that does sting. Monster Hunter Stories was one that just didn't even run very well, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back to it, but
bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Come and gone.
Splatoon 2 is the only one, and it's only because Splatoon 3 is out. That was the only one where I was like, totally clean, just get it out of here. It doesn't matter.
How are you
struggling on that front? Splatoon's fine. Look, I need to get back to I guess I'll just buy Nintendo games at full price and say thank you very much. Can I have another? Like that's every once in a while, like my real brain will kind of take over and go, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But then I jump on with a bunch of friends and we have a blast playing Splatoon. So that's what we do.
I'm having a lot of fun playing Splatoon. I'm not playing with anybody.
Yeah, and there's that thing. I haven't even done the card game. I haven't done the single player. Are you just doing multiplayer turf war? Yeah, that's what I hear, man.
I'm kind of done with turf war. I'm kind of over it already.
Yeah.
I played it for like 4 hours and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I got a salmon run. We got to get a squad together one night and do salmon run.
Yeah, I'm down. Okay. Oh, snap. Donnie never says this. I am in. Yeah.
I want to play salmon run with people. At least like one good time.
What are you doing tonight? Let's do this for 4 hours and then do salmon run.
Yeah, can't tonight.
Okay.
Can't tonight. We have to schedule it. But yeah, one
I'm
Friday
down,
evening,
man.
I'll play some salmon run.
Man. It's coming. I actually I don't want to go away from salmon run. I definitely want to jump into that. Have you been playing it much yourself? Like I need to understand it a little bit. I feel like it's kind of like zombies with COD, but COD got really
it's like Horde.
Yeah. Well, and even actually Horde with Gears of War is a good example too, where at first with Gears 2, I understood it completely. And then it kind of kept getting advanced for the people who knew Horde.
For the diehards.
And they lost me at a certain point with just, how much there is to know. I think Zombies is a good example of that. And salmon run might be that.
I just jump in and shoot stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do.
Shoot stuff until, with your friends until you reach the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like World War Z.
World War Z had that great balance. That's the thing. Like Back 4 Blood lost me on that front. Like too much. It's just like it's there at the beginning. And maybe this is why Splatoon is an interesting one too, in that they really tried to channel you into turf war, and they not even try. They do. Like if you don't know any otherwise,
make sure you play it.
Right. Like for a lot of people probably don't know there's any other way to play.
For like an hour. You're like,
seriously,
you can't do anything else but this.
Yeah. And maybe that's for a good reason, because it can be intimidating to see anything more complicated or more options. And that's definitely speaking to the lowest common denominator. I'd like to think that I can understand more than that, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm pretty simple, man.
Yeah, turf war just feels like a lot more of the same, and it's good. There's nothing wrong with that same. That same is good. It's always been good.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm just kind of over it. We've had a lot of Splatoon in 8 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of Splatoon. Think of the games that, there's been games that announced and even come out in that time. We've got 3 Splatoon games. So I wouldn't mind if Splatoon went on the shelf for a little while. Let us, miss it a little bit.
Just came out. It was on the shelf. It just came out.
Yeah, I mean, but like for a little while.
Yeah.
Like you could, like Donkey Kong, like maybe go on the shelf for a bit.
Good point. Donkey Kong has been on the shelf for a bit.
And now we miss it to the point where everybody keeps asking for Donkey Kong. Like that's the weird thing, because I like Splatoon and the game is good. But it is, and it's not more of the same because it is different. There's different maps and stuff like that.
Yep.
The single player is really good. That's the part I am enjoying. It reminds me a lot of Bowser's Fury.
Yeah.
Like that. And I'm digging it. But outside of that, it's just like, I didn't know that I was like wanting Splatoon.
Yeah.
Like wanting, like I bought it. Don't get me wrong, but I hope people know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you mean. I know what you're trying to say.
Like wanting it,
You bought it because it came out.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I hadn't played my Switch in a minute.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while. And I've already played more of the damn golf game than Splatoon anyway. And
dude, I need to buy it, dude. What is it called again? This everybody's golf, this Hot Shots golf.
Yeah,
what is it called now?
It's called Easy Come, Easy Golf.
Stop. Is it really?
It's terrible. It's just awful. I'm wondering if like Apple owns Clap Hands Golf, or if there's like a type, like how can they own it though? Like the developer is called Clap Hands. I don't know. Yeah, it's terrible. It's a disaster. But yeah, Easy Come, Easy Golf.
Easy. Okay. Well, I guess I'm literally searching these words right
really
now.
On the nose right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Type in Easy Come into the Nintendo eShop, Sean.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, this could be dangerous. Let's see what it. Okay, so first, the game that I'm looking for showed up, but second, somehow the pizza delivery boy who saved the world for $7.97 Canadian.
No brainer.
Those are the two options that show up when I search Easy Come. Not Come Easy. Oh man.
And then I just I recently got back into Valhalla after the Assassin's Creed showcase.
I saw that.
And I don't know if I'm going to go back to Splatoon. Like, I was playing so much Valhalla the last 2 days. I was like, Splatoon's going to have to go in the back burner for a little bit.
We're getting into the time of year where I freak out because there's too many games, and I do look to a game like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and go like, I just need that. I could just play that and The Division, and that's it. I should be good.
We were just talking about it in our Discord. Everybody kept, they were like, hey, man, like, there are all these games coming to Game Pass, and nobody's playing it. It's like, I don't have time for Game Pass right now. Seriously. Like, I'll get to it one day, but it's like, right now is not the time, Game Pass.
Don't you think that's what people want to hear? And then they go, well, that's why I don't buy 6 years of Game Pass all at once.
Sure. I mean, as somebody who owns 6 years of Game Pass, I can tell you, I have no regrets, right?
Same.
Like, no regrets.
No regrets.
None. I'm not like, oh man, did I waste money this month by subscribing? Not even in the least bit. That is so far from my mind.
I've been paying for a Comixology subscription since December.
Fix this analogy, if there was another deal on Game Pass right now, I would buy it.
Buy more,
knowing that I'm not planning on playing anything in Game Pass anytime soon.
Yeah. It's actually a future investment is what it is. You know that everybody's like, as soon as they reach 50 million subs, they're going to raise the prices. Like, good idea to buy on a deal now and just stack on up, man.
I've never paid full price for Game Pass, ever.
Of course.
I don't think for 1 month.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And whenever that family plan comes out, I'm interested to see how much my stash takes a hit. Look at that.
We're golfing, Donnie. We got it.
Yeah, we can play some golf together.
Heck yeah.
I'm enjoying it. It's pretty good. It's not like full hot shots, but it's enough hot shots.
What does that mean?
It's a little weird. It's a little mobile-y weird. There's like mobile stuff. Now that
I've bought it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've tweeted about it. I've talked about it, but if you didn't hear, like, it's not bad. It's actually some strategy to it. I compare it to like a card game, kind of like think of like card collection games. You don't pick a golfer and like go golf. What it is, you sign up for a match, and the match is say 9 holes, right? And you have a collection of golfers, and you assign a golfer per hole. And you play with that golfer on that hole. So some golfers hit it further than others, and some golfers hit it straighter than others. Yeah. So it adds a little strategy. I don't ever think about it that much. I literally just hit auto assign and go.
Yeah, just deal with whatever you got on each hole.
Yeah, it's a little like I think that was like a mobile-y thing that they were trying to do. They don't sell you golfers. Don't feel bad about that. Like, and you win more golfers as you progress. Yeah, you can upgrade them and make them stronger and all that. It's just like it's a mechanic that they threw in the game that I don't care about. I don't feel like it adds anything to it. Yeah, but it doesn't really take anything away from it either. I guess variety. Like, that's why I think it's a mobile thing. I think it's a mobile thing that they were trying to do.
Something to grind away at.
Yeah, because the Apple Arcade version of the game had shorter matches when you started the game. Yeah. And this version doesn't. Just throws you right into 9 holes.
Well, that's kind of what I want. Like, I mean, that's kind of what I go for.
But there are tournaments. There are world tournaments. There are challenge matches. There are character matches. But, like, my favorite Hot Shots 2, Hot Shots 3, Hot Shots 4 Out of Bounds, there was way more of a like single player campaign like progression where you played tournaments to unlock the character battle, to battle the character, to get the new character, to keep going, and like every character was better. So as you obtain more characters, it got harder and harder.
Yeah.
And that progression is not there, and it hasn't been there in years. Like, wasn't there on the PS4 version or anything like that. So I miss that old school kind of, it's not really grind, but just that old school progression.
Yeah. This is why we just hold on to our old stuff. I mean, I guess you could just play it on a Steam Deck, maybe.
I've got my PS2 copies. Did I ever tell you about my PS2 glow up?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So
Are you
I've been
playing with wireless controllers though? Are you able to? Yeah.
Playing with my DualSense controller
on your PS. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes.
I bought this $30 adapter that
syncs
to my DualSense, and I play PS2 with my DualSense wirelessly, and it's amazing.
That's such a huge thing. It's so funny. Like when I first saw a 360, turning on the console with a wireless controller was like, this is the future.
That's true. Yeah, I remember that too.
Definitely, like being free of the cords and everything, and there's just too much. So yeah, wireless PS2, that's kind of game changing, especially if you were there playing with a wired controller. Like you remembered a certain way.
I have HDMI upscaler.
Oh my goodness!
So it's right into my big screen TV, and it was great.
Man,
it's sharp.
You're living your best life. Do you think you're playing more games now than maybe in the last 5 years?
Definitely.
That's awesome.
For sure.
Because of like difference in like children's ages and podcasting schedules, all of the above.
Yeah, probably all of the above. Just a little bit. Like I would say in the last 2 years, just generally on average, I'm gaming more than I have.
I love that.
In a very long time or before.
Yeah.
I do think it's probably I don't do as many podcasts as I used to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big part of it.
Where were you at your peak? Older. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, my kids have basically, not Jack. Jack is all into games, but he games on his own now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take up my time to play with him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just generally my life schedule is more or less kind of just freed up a bit. I've freed up the podcasting and not doing as many things. I'm not working second jobs and side hustles and, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Who knew?
I don't fill my calendar with things to do. Like my wife's real big on that. She's always on the go. I'm the opposite of that, and I want to go anywhere. So
I feel like I'm doing that, and I need to watch it, because when everything's on schedule, it's fine. But like one thing goes wrong, and it's just like dominoes.
Cascading effect. Yeah.
It's just not like everything kind of bleeds into each other, and then I start panicking.
You get real stressed, and that's what happens to her.
Yeah.
She gets behind, and then she starts stressing out about everything.
Big time.
And I think she definitely hates hearing it, but I'm just sitting there. I'm like, you did this to yourself. Like, no, nobody else to blame but you. See, that's where my brashness isn't welcomed, right? Because I'm just like,
nobody wants to hear that at that time. Like, I'm struggling right now.
Like, I can show you every step along the way that you did this.
Oh, man.
You have allowed this to happen.
Would that be like, because I know it, like you could say that to me. I'm like, yeah, no, I've already said this to myself 5 times. Yeah. Exactly. Like I'm well aware. Think about it all. Like basically in between my appointments, I'm thinking about, why do I have so many appointments? Why do I have so many things going on? But I can't help myself.
Like I used to golf a lot and used to disc golf a lot, and I just don't anymore. Like I just don't have those other things to do. It's like, it's like my cars and video games, like I played, I played 5 hours of Valhalla today before I cut the grass. Yesterday I played like 11 hours of Valhalla.
Man,
I played Valhalla like all day yesterday.
I'm in the, I need to mow the lawn one more time, and then I'm probably good until next spring. Like that's where we are.
I mowed the leaves.
Oh yeah.
Because I do have a pretty nice blower, but the leaves, it just never seems to work well. That always frustrates me trying to blow leaves.
Yeah.
And I don't rake them either.
Oh, so, I do rake. I need to figure something else out.
And I live in the woods. I have a lot of trees around.
You really do.
I get a lot of leaves. So a couple of times, like maybe once in October and once in November, I will go out with the lawnmower, just mow the leaves.
It's kind of like vacuuming.
It's like mulching.
Yeah.
I'll mow them into like a real fine little powder, and they'll just kind of cover the grass. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. We have a ton.
I can't imagine. I've seen pictures.
When I first moved here, I'm talking, we raked the yard once, and it was like 25 wheelbarrows of leaves. Just ridiculous.
I'd be chopping down trees, dude.
I was like, I'm never doing this again.
You. No, no kidding. We had one tree in our front yard, and I was so sick and tired of raking them and everything that we cut down the tree.
Last year, I kept blowing them like in front of the porch. My wife hated it, but I liked it for Halloween. I thought it was like a cool Halloween effect. just have a lot of leaves that everybody had to like walk through.
Nice.
And it helped like with the fog. It helped keep the fog low, and like it would kind of hold it and grab it and all that. So
yes,
I'll probably do that again.
This year we've already went to a number of Halloween stores, and I'm channeling my inner Donnie. But my daughter, I think you'd actually, if she kind of sticks with this,
I dropped like $500 on Halloween decorations.
We're not quite there, but we're definitely up from zero in the past. My daughter Ellie loves spooky stuff.
Nice.
Like she loves spiders. She even says like, she just gives you like this demonic look and says like, I like scary things.
Nice.
Like we are in trouble with this one, but I want to harness this. But she loves spiders. She wants like a spider. Like she wants Chelsea.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd be getting her all the eye makeup and black lipstick and pentagrams.
Yeah.
I would goth the shit out of her.
Summoning circles
as soon as possible.
Yeah, she likes it all.
Your
man.
Ouija board.
So we went to one Halloween store, and she says to me, "None of this stuff is creepy. It's too cute.
Yeah,
we need to go to a different store where they have creepy stuff."
Enough. That sounds I've said those words.
Yeah,
I've been very let down with the absence of scare.
Yes,
with several decorations or other people's houses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely kind of snobby in that regard. We have a neighbor every year that puts out like 50 inflatables.
Yeah, not
their
scary.
yard just looks like a bounce house full of cartoon characters. I'm like, what in the hell is happening?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny to see because she's 3. She'll be 4 in November, just after Halloween, actually. And so it's funny to see her kind of developing these standards. You know, like otherwise it's just whatever we do, but it's for Halloween, like it's got to be a certain level. And there is too scary still. There's like these costumes with like it darkens out your face, but has like red eyes glowing. She's like, that's too scary. She doesn't quite like that. But she does like a spider, and when you step on a thing, it jumps out at you. Like she'll get scared, but she likes it. It's really amazing to see. Lincoln is too scared of it all. He wants the cutesy stuff.
Yeah.
But Ellie likes the terrifying. I kind of like it. We're gonna be watching horror movies together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids?
I can't wait. Mm-hmm.
What's on the docket?
Oh, not anytime soon, dude. Like that's like when she.
I thought you meant like this weekend. I was like, what are you watching?
No, eventually. No, we're watching like Sonic the Hedgehog together. Like we're not a horror movie territory just yet. But like I said, depends on how it could be a phase. Could be, maybe she actually gets scared and doesn't like it anymore. But she likes the creepy crawlies, man. Spiders are her thing. She got a witch costume. She's all stoked about.
I love it.
Got a broom. Yeah,
I love it.
She wears it around the house.
My wife said I have a black cat. I name all of my cats after Halloween stuff, and I have a black cat named Annabelle. And Annabelle's like more my cat. She's kind of replaced Kirby. She's always
that's my niece's name, by the way.
Annabelle. Nice.
Yeah, and she was born after the movie. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me! Like, just asking for trouble. I'm just saying.
I would dress her up just like it. But I got her a cat collar that has studs and like a pentagram, and my wife's just like not having it. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Yep, it's like it's doing the Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times. Like, why?
I'm all about it.
You're asking for trouble, man.
That's how my wife sees it. She won't let me have a Ouija board. I want a Ouija board just put on the coffee table. And she's like, "No, that's how you get ghosts." And I'm like, "It can't be. It's made by Mattel. Like how haunted could it be if it's mass produced?" Like,
good point.
Come on. Yep. You can't believe everything you see in the
when
movies.
you get them from like a flea market or yard sale,
it's like
or
an
something.
actual wood one made out of like a haunted tree that somebody was hanged on.
Made out of bones.
Yeah. Like, this is a Monopoly board is basically what this is.
Exactly. I mean, when you put it that way, we should all just have a little Ouija board, just kind of see what happens. Do they actually move? I've never done anything with a Ouija board. Do they do anything?
Yeah, they can. And it's really just like it's like a game of like people. There's always somebody that's going to try to move it to scare somebody else, and that's really what the game is predicated on.
That's the best. I love.
But I've read that there are ones that have like magnets and things in it and stuff like that that try to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I've seen there are like gimmick boards that you can buy where the piece has like a motor in it and it'll move on its own. You can like turn it on and stuff like that, and that's cool.
Turn it on.
Yeah,
it's actually a ghost. It's trying to make you think like you've got some control, but like really those are the real ones.
Yeah.
You think it's
I
got a
think those are
motor in there.
awesome. I would love to have one just to kind of spook people and scare people. But I'm also
Oh
the
my
guy that like
gosh.
hides Chucky in the under the beds and stuff. You know, I think it's just fun to do.
I was having a shower just before we started here, and I was finishing up, close off the water, open up the shower curtain. My 2 kids are there, just like waiting for me. I'm like, good God.
They get
I
you?
was not expecting that. They just had to stand there, and they got me big time, man.
One day my kids are going to get me to the point it puts me in the hospital, but I've made it a point to never act scared when they try, and they try often.
Good
And
one.
I'm always just like,
don't let them.
Yeah, don't ever let them see you sweat.
Yeah,
just like better luck next time.
Yeah. See, this is like the dad advice. This is the parental advice that people actually need. Not like the, do this as a discipline, blah, blah, blah. Like that's some hard hitting stuff. Like that's
I scare
actually
them all the time. They try to get me, and sometimes I don't always know it. But
yeah,
when they do, sometimes I'm always just like, put on a brave face. Don't let them know.
Yeah. That's good advice.
It's got to be. Yeah, you can't, and it's hard to hold that reaction, but you got to just clench your teeth. Be like, they're like, I got you, and be like, I knew you were there the whole time. And just crush them. They're just like, I'll get you next time.
Yeah, I remember a couple dads like that growing up. Actually, my I don't know if we ever really tried to scare my dad, but there's definitely a few who are just like terrifying to go over to a friend's house, and it's like, oh, Mr. So-and-so's there, and it's like just so scary.
Oh, he'll get you.
So intimidating. Yeah, there's definitely one. I've told the story before, I think, but one of the times I was most scared, I actually leapt off the ground. Like I levitated. My feet just went like horizontal. I floated. I was like a Acme, like a Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote thing. We were coming in very late. I think I might have been in 8th grade or something like that. We were coming in maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock, and he was waiting behind the door, but I didn't know that. So we were trying to be so quiet. Oh yeah, like, and he grabbed me, and he's just like 5'4", but like burly older Italian dad, just really strong and tough, and his hands were just like sausages, just like grabbing me. And I was like, and I died twice before I hit the ground. He got me so good. I don't even know what squeal I left out, but I remember like my heart stopped. I was in midair and I landed on my tailbone. Like I got scared absolute shitless, and he got me, man. He intimidated me already, and to get me like that, and he was laughing. He just thought it was the funniest thing ever. Yeah. I'll pay it forward one day.
It's such a great feeling.
That one was funny.
It doesn't happen enough, I guess. Like when you get, I guess you get older, you get, you know, it's harder to feel that way, but it's, you know, I like that. I like that kind of rush.
Oh, it's nothing, dude. This was how many years ago? Decades ago. I'll never forget. I can remember it like it's yesterday. Like I can smell the house when I think of that story.
Yeah, my father-in-law, I used to always kind of like look down my nose because he would always hide on Halloween with like a chainsaw and a Jason mask.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
He would try to scare little kids, and I guess he did, but I was just like, this is so cliche and overplayed, and you don't look. I was like, you don't look anything like Jason. You know, I was just like his hater. I'm just like, it's not scary, man. Like you gotta do much better. Like this isn't good enough.
That would be terrifying. What are you talking about?
Oh, it definitely was not terrifying. Like maybe really 5. Yeah, I mean, that's not scary. Like I'm trying to scare like teenagers. I'm trying to scare people. But he never wanted to go like crazy with you know, like decorations and stuff. He'd throw out like a little spider web or something, a light or two.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that was too cute. Like we went for like bones sticking up out of the ground and tombstones and like demon stuff. Like,
ideally, if I had all the energy and time and money, I would like just make a haunted house. Like if you trick or treated in my house, you just have to go through a haunted house to get the candy.
I like it.
Like that would be the ideal way to go.
I saw those screens that you can put up and make it look like the holograms, like the ghosts are dancing in the room and stuff like that. I have like that kind of stuff. Those are cool.
Yeah, I've got one that I put up because I got rid of my movie theater, so just never use it enough. So I got as a replacement, I got a Michael Myers hologram to throw up on the garage door.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Right next to the Tupac one.
Yeah. Yeah, the holograms are kind of in vogue, are like the synchronized lights people put on. So I don't like that if people turn it into like Christmas. The
Christmas thing. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like you got everybody with the music and you want to be that house. Yeah. It's a fine line, you know, to be I don't know, tasteful is, I don't know if that's the word, but not to just go whatever's trendy. Like you can definitely do a trendy haunted house, but to be
Yeah.
like scary.
Yeah, I try to go for scary.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think my house is like scary, but I've had a few wins that always make me feel good about it.
Yeah.
I had one year, I had one boy who just refused to come get the candy.
Just like,
And
I'm good.
I was like, that's the dream. He didn't even want the candy that bad.
You gotta have good candy too.
But I try to keep it like creepy and scary and realistic and like autumnal. That's a big thing that I really into, like haystack and corn stalks,
Oh,
and things
okay.
like that. It's kind of more my flavor.
I'm gonna have
So
to
I got
listen
a
back
lot
and
of
take
I
notes.
got a lot of scarecrows and
Yeah.
skeletons, and I don't want anything that's kind of like, the only thing that's really out of place is Chucky.
Yeah.
They have to go to Chucky to get the candy. I usually put the candy in his lap.
That's so good.
So they have to like actually get really close to him. And some kids,
Yeah.
that's too much. Like some
Yeah.
kids, they're like, absolutely not, which I
Is there
find hilarious. It's just a doll.
Wow. That's some of the scariest stuff ever. Just a doll. That's kind of the worst. Is there a line though, like what was it? Tower of Terror, I think, at one point in Disney, if you get to and they're telling the story, you get to the top and you look up and it shows like a person or two like hanging there, like just a dead person.
Oh, I'd love to put somebody in my tree for sure.
Right? Like I feel like hanging might be too far.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably deals a lot on race. Like it's probably
oh,
okay.
Really?
Probably
yeah,
okay
I guess
if they're
so.
white. But if they're not white, you're in a lot of trouble down here.
What about just like a skeleton hanging? Like it's decomposed. It's been there for just kind of swinging in the tree.
Like,
just
need to be a corpse. Have you ever seen a skeleton hang?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of it. There's definitely games.
I do have skeletons in my tree.
Yeah. What about Drew Barrymore from Scream?
I have ghosts
hanging
in
from
trees.
a tree?
See, that's what I'm thinking. I would love to have like a realistic kind of corpse like person, like dummy.
That scene in Scream, that
would
was
be cool.
probably the first time that I was genuinely scared.
Really? Scream?
Yeah, that I know, dude. Like I had this I know it's embarrassing to say because it's a hilarious movie, especially look back on it now. But I hadn't, that was, and I'm older than you are. I would have been in grade 7, I think, grade 6 or 7. So how old you are then? 12, I think. And yeah, that was probably the scariest thing I'd seen at that point. Was just like this. She gets stabbed like that one. They chase her down, stab her from behind into the upper part of her chest, and then hanging from a tree, just right in the boob. Just
there you go.
It wasn't in the boob though; it was above the boob. And then she's hanging there with her guts hanging out. I'm like, that is absolutely terrifying.
The guts is a good part.
Just like spilling out. It was kind of like Saving Private Ryan. Like I didn't know that the body did that. I know they just spill out like that. Okay.
Fair.
You're not supposed to see that.
But by the time I saw Scream, like the charade was over.
Oh yeah, for most people it was, and it was. That's what I mean. That movie was made for people like you or Chelsea who grew up watching horror movies with their dad and stuff. It was, let's make a mockery almost.
The scariest moment when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade, watched Elm Street.
Oh yeah,
seeing Tina in the bag in the school, like in the body bag, like kind of with her hand up against the body bag, and then drops down and like lifts up in the blood trail. She like goes away. That was like the thing that I was like, oh my god, this is frightening.
Yeah.
And then I just loved it. Like the more and more I watched it as Screwed, I was like, that's amazing.
So
I want to do that.
Yeah.
Do that as you come to trick or treat. Like, oh my god.
I'm trying to think. Like, it is weird. You probably have a better kind of encyclopedic knowledge of this stuff too. But Scream is the one. I'm trying to think of like another kill that really got to me. And I don't know if like I feel like there's a good list. This could be something for maybe us or Decade of Horror. But like best kills, probably something from Saw. But that gets it too much into
Saw's good
gore porn. But
yeah, there's that too. Horror porn. I mean, there's 1,000 of them, but
I know, like that's the thing.
I mean, every slasher movie has one at least, right? You've got Kevin Bacon in Friday the 13th. If you don't remember that one, that's when he's in the bed and they shove an arrow through his neck in the bed. It comes up through his neck and the blood squirts. The other one, Friday the 13th, when he kills Tina. And she's up on the ceiling and like ragdolling around. There's blood everywhere, and their body just falls into the bed. That's a really, really good one.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I mean, there's a bunch in Child's Play. Michael
Mhm.
Myers has a bunch.
Like, this is it. See, I need to watch more of this stuff.
The Child's Play one, it's gonna be a lot like it's gonna matter who you are, right? Because in the original
Yeah.
Child's Play, I think the babysitter might be the best one.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably. And I love the original Child's Play because they try so hard. So the original Child's Play, based off the screenplay, it was they tried so hard for as long as they could to make you think it was Andy. Like
Mm.
everything that you see for like the first half of the movie is through the eyes of the boy. It's at
Spoilers.
his height. It's in first person, and so they try so hard to make you. It's the boy. It's the boy. It's the boy. Even though they're basically like it's the doll, but you don't see the doll. You don't move the doll, so you're like, is this the swerve?
Yeah.
Is it the boy? And then you see the doll actually move, and then it becomes Chuck, and then it like goes off the
Mhm.
rails and does its thing. Um, that's completely different from like Child's Play 2, where
Yeah.
that gimmick is not there anymore.
Cat's out of the bag.
It's definitely just Chucky, and he's got some great ones in that one. The teacher one, I think probably most people remember most.
I haven't seen
Oof.
a single Chucky movie. Like, this is it,
Oh
man.
my!
I know.
Oh,
I know.
Sean!
Like, okay, well, my turn to cut it short. I'll
That
see you guys
hurts.
later. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sean!
You know, the thing is, it never seems like it's in season until it's and then it's Halloween, and then that's it. But we talked about this. I think maybe even after we were chatting or recording last week. When the hell else we did this?
Yeah.
I've got to like just write down. I need my Donnie recommendations. I say this every single time we sit down and chat, and just like block out the time. I've just got to do this.
I mean, I don't think you have to, but I mean,
I want to. I got it.
The
Like,
season, it's fun to do.
Tis the season.
Right?
Yes,
it's fun to do. It's something that I get. There are very few things in my marriage that I get as much satisfaction as I do than this time of year.
Yeah,
where I sit down and my wife is on board. We do it for just like this time.
Yeah,
like the 6 to 8 weeks to Halloween. We watch horror movies, and I let her watch all of my favorite horror movies, and to the point where I probably get like wore out of them.
Yeah,
and that's good because then for the rest of the year, I can watch the things that she wants to watch, her other movies or action movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like during this time, she knows we're doing horror movies, and like just
I love it.
This past week we watched her. Just last night we watched House of a Thousand Corpses. Her first time.
I haven't seen that in forever, man.
Neither have I actually. I've owned the movie.
Yeah.
The last time I saw this movie, I saw it on DVD.
Yeah,
that's how long
when
ago
it came out is like basically when I saw it.
I
like
just
when it
got
first came on DVD.
I got last year. I got the Rob Zombie trilogy on Blu-ray, and seeing it in Blu-ray made a lot of difference. It was very pretty. Like I always knew that it was, but like seeing it, and it's probably not just the fact that it's in Blu-ray in higher definition, but also like my TV and the lights and the vibe and you know like all of it together. It's a really colorful movie, extremely colorful movie that I was just like, man, this is, you know, I've always loved it and I always knew it was good, but I think last time I was just like, it might be better than even I thought it was. Yeah.
Well, it seems like when you describe that, it sounds like that would actually take away, because when I think of that movie, it's like very grungy and
it's still very grungy and gritty.
Yeah,
but it's just seeing it in high definition, especially with all like the post effects that he puts on the screen and stuff at different times. It's got that grindhouse, you know, indie exploitation feel, but it's just so much. It's almost like a giallo. It's just so much like bright, hypersensitive, hyper neon color, you know, and it cuts back and forth. It's like it's Texas Chainsaw and Suspiria.
That was
Texas Chainsaw and Suspiria.
Oh,
you know, it just kind of hits both of those so fast. I was really digging it. And then last week we did Satan's Cheerleaders. We did Leprechaun. Like we've
Leprechaun. Yes. Oh my gosh. Classic.
We've done a bunch already. I think I'm on maybe 15 movies already.
Yeah.
So I got another 20
was Leprechaun
or so
like aware of how silly it is? Like I feel like it was.
Yeah.
We don't get anything like it. Is that irreverence?
Leprechaun it's so fun. My wife, I think I've said this before. My wife is sure that she's seen everything, but she's seen nothing. What she's seen is like a commercial or a clip, and that
or parody of it.
Yeah, that counts as having seen it.
Totally.
So she thought Leprechaun was like a slasher, and I was like, Leprechaun is like Disney. Like it's so
somewhere in between, but yeah,
it really is, especially the first
Disney.
one. Yeah, because like the last maybe like Leprechaun 3 or 4, like it starts to go there, but the first Leprechaun, It's like Monster Squad. It's not anything. Like you could watch the first Leprechaun with children. I mean, it's just not that hard at all.
Just don't know about that, but yeah, I feel like Leprechaun is a great example of the movie that they actually made the VHS cover art first, and then they made the movie afterwards. Like it's gonna have like this tagline and this character, and then they just kind of fill in the blanks afterwards.
Yeah,
I just like it's so we had a bunch of that kind of stuff. They had one little like 3 or 4 word like tagline. I can't remember. Like Leprechaun had a great one too, and it's slipping my mind as I talk about this too. It's like, it's so on the nose.
There are 1,000 movies scarier than Leprechaun.
Well, it's just weird. Yeah, Your Luck Just Ran Out.
That's really
the thing that was on. That's so good.
So video game review headline.
It's Goosebumps. It's like you had something like that on every Goosebumps book.
Yeah.
That's where I got into horror. Like that's probably the
Goosebumps?
most I got into is Goosebumps. It kind of just had like this I don't even know if it actually was
more of the flavor, like scary stories to tell in the dark.
Totally. Like it was, and it's scary light. And thinking about it now, going back then, it was, I shouldn't be reading this. It's scaring me just a little, enough. But also the collectathon.
It wasn't, I never read thing. I was never been much of a reader, but I always checked out the scary books in the library, but I didn't like Goosebumps. It's too PG at the time that I came around them, but I was more than that. But the definite thing for horror movies for me is that I wasn't supposed to be watching them. And that made me want to watch them so much more. And that's why I watched them so early. And I love them so much that my mom, I've done podcasts about how my mom was, but generally on that topic, she didn't really care.
Yeah.
She's like, whatever, it's fine. Yeah. Like he's not doing anything else.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not like killing animals or trying to act anything out. I just enjoy this type of movie. So she let me just go with it. She would rent movies for me.
Yeah.
When I tell people that, my wife to this day, I'll be like, yeah, I watched this when I was like 9. She just looks at me with these very concerned eyes. And I'm like, I've watched these 1,000 times.
Dude, I hear more and more of that. And I, even as a parent, like I don't know where I land on. I'm still, as I was talking earlier, like I'm still exploring the space a little bit. But you and Chelsea very much like that, watching movies. And there's so many people
I would let my kids watch them. They just don't want to.
Right. Yeah,
my
leave it up
kids
to them.
Don't. They're scared and they don't like scary movies, so they don't. They just
you don't strap them to the chair.
Yeah. I'm not. No,
tape their eyelids open.
My daughter, my daughter tried or not tried. She told me one year that she wanted to watch. She was like, I want to watch the scary movies. She's like, nothing too scary. So we watched like Paranormal Activity and like a couple other ones. We watched.
See, that's top of Chelsea's list. That's maxed out terrifying for Chelsea.
Oh, that is.
It's Paranormal Activities, like that kind of stuff.
Toe.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But it depends on what you
Paranormal Activity.
I love that movie.
Yeah, she liked that one a lot. Look at my mind here. She didn't like the Blair Witch. I got to pull up my list and just remember the ones that we showed her because I have a do the little Sean thing with the pin. I keep a spreadsheet of all the movies that I plan to watch and the ones that I have watched and all that. I've definitely done that. So
shared.
She didn't like the Blair Witch and she didn't like The Craft, which hurt. Because I love The Craft. The Craft is great. Great teen scream. She didn't like The Craft. She thought it was lame, both the old one and the new one. And but yeah, she definitely liked Paranormal Activity. But the thing with her, it's not that she doesn't like them. She really only watches them when her friends want to watch them. It's just not something she wants to do with me.
Yep.
So she wants to do it with her friends. And if her friends are watching scary movies, she'll watch them. She'll come and talk to me after. She'll ask me what I think about them and all that because she knows
that's cool.
That I've got all the movies and all the things. So she'll definitely come talk to me about them, but she doesn't want to sit down and watch them with me.
Yeah. That kind of sucks.
Except on Halloween. Like when I would put up the movie theater. Like we had the movie theater for a couple years. We'd always watch a movie together.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll do that next year.
How's she doing these days, man? I feel like there was a couple years ago where it's like you guys were just like bashing.
No, great.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, she's been really, really good. She's definitely like just got kind of through I would say a phase, but I'm not sure of the phase. She's she sees therapy weekly. I think that's been a big help. She also joined band, so she has a much more like regimented schedule and things now. And I think that's definitely been a big help. And just generally, she just kind of grew up and got a little more mature and everything. So yeah, we got through it.
No, good for
But
you.
You're not
man.
lying. Yeah, because it was tough. It was really, really tough.
Well, when it is a topic of conversation on the Nintendo Shack, it's like, oof, that's gotta be
Yeah,
rough,
it was
man,
time
you
there, man.
know?
It was
Yeah,
exhausting.
I'll bet. I think we're probably in for that with Ellie, I'm sure. Lincoln, Lincoln would really surprise me if we get into that territory, but Ellie, I'm not gonna be surprised. I'm kind of just waiting for it.
I remember at the time everybody told me that with like the other parents that had girls, they tell me it's normal.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, I was hell on earth from my
Yeah.
mom when I was about her age. So it just
Chelsea
seems
too.
to be like a thing.
Yep. Chelsea too.
But it's
Chelsea,
tough.
she was the reason their parents didn't have another kid for 6 years. They're like, I'm good. So,
but it's funny with Jack is Jack. Yeah, Jack couldn't be further from the same kind of case. Jack's an angel.
Yeah, Lincoln too. You know? Yeah. He's the guy he was just before we recording. He's like, I want to like, can you play some music? And I'm like, yeah, what do you want to hear? He's like, whatever you want to play. I'm like, how many songs do you want to listen to? I was like, however many you want to play. I'm like, that's so sweet. Like, it's just it's very nice.
Jack's very kind. Victoria, she'll still go for your juggler if you give her the opportunity.
Same with Ellie.
She's still cutthroat.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I'm just waiting for her to like learn a roundhouse kick. Like, I actually can't wait to like put her in some sort of like martial arts or something. Like, that's just me. Who knows if she'll actually like take to it at all.
I tried doing that with my daughter as well, but she didn't.
She didn't want to.
She didn't like sports.
You think it's like, oh yeah, it's like it's perfect.
Yeah,
this
would be great at it
for you. Definitely.
She did play intramural sports for a little bit, and she dominated. Like because of course she did. Because it's like, I told you your entire life, but she doesn't want to. Thus, she's in band. Well, it's just so funny because she came home.
The disappointment.
Her first week of band camp, she was like, "This girl was in my way, and I totally just ran her over." And I'm like, "You could have been playing soccer or basketball. Like, why are you bragging about running people, trucking people at band camp?
Band camp, yeah.
You know." So, but yeah, she just.
What does she play?
I have no idea. Clarinet, flute, something like that. No idea.
I kind of pictured like a baritone or something, like a tuba.
No, it's definitely something like off to the side and all that. It's a wind thing. My wife she basically makes them play band. She makes them. They have to do. Both my kids have to do 1 year of band or course. That's the rule. Because she has some scientific belief that it makes your brain smarter and able to do math better, or whatever. Some study she came up with. What it is, and my wife just loves music. And she's going to make them do it for a year. Yeah. When I tried to make them do sports, can't do that. That's being overbearing. Mom can
that's frustrating. That's super frustrating.
Make them do. Now, to be clear, for any of our listeners out there, I would never make them do sports. I would never force them against their will. I would try to encourage them to do so.
Dude, that's a thing.
But my wife was like, no, you will do band or chorus your freshman year.
That is totally a thing. You will sit down at this piano and you will learn this piano and go through grades and grades of piano school.
Now, again, my wife's a music major.
Yeah.
Music is a huge part of her life. You know, so like in that
you
regard,
almost went pro.
I kind of get it.
You almost went scholarship. Did you get scholarships for golf?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had full ride offers to D2 schools.
Yeah.
I had partial offers to a couple D1 schools.
Yeah. Yeah.
My most prestigious offer was to Georgia State. And it wasn't a full ride. It was a partial ride. It wasn't even like a half ride. It was like a quarter ride.
Though. Yeah.
But Georgia State is like a top 20 golf program. So most people have no idea what Georgia State University is, but at the time, Georgia State is a serious golf program. Still is.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like top 20 golf schools. When you think of like the NCAA top 25, like 7 of those schools are in Georgia. It's like Augusta State, Mercer, Georgia Tech. Georgia State's among those. Yeah.
Jack's not into it though either. Then you haven't been able to force him into it, so that's that, I guess.
Yeah. Jack loves basketball.
Yeah.
I think with Jack, he's just not very athletic.
Yeah.
And he realizes it. It's not even like a thing that I can like keep him away from it. He's just not, Jack's like, I should coach one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he still plays, but I don't think he's gonna play organized. I don't think he wants to.
How old is he? Is he 12 or 13?
12.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll see.
Things could still happen, Like I was tripping over myself until at least 14.
Turns 13 in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Things change. He growing?
Yeah, he shot up a bunch this year. Actually, he's like up a foot this year. Getting tall and skinny.
Yeah,
he's still not tall, but he's just taller. He was really short for a while.
You're tall.
No,
you're tall. Yes, you are.
No,
5'10". I mean, not 6. Yeah, that's taller than me.
Okay.
Everybody says I'm taller than they expect when I meet them.
Yeah, I definitely would. Yeah, I think you're taller than you appear on video. Like on stream, you're taller than you appear.
I wonder what should I do about that? How do I make myself appear my real height? What is anyone supposed to do?
Yeah,
how does it? That's what
why
I'm wondering.
Would you do anything? Like that doesn't make any sense. It's just,
but you see us all from like here to here.
Everything from here to here.
Yeah. So how does any one person look any different than the other? We just see a head. Like, what does that even mean? Maybe it's an angle, like where our monitor heights are.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's slightly different. I don't know.
I
also think I probably, when I meet people, I think I'm wearing like a running shoe of some sort. I'm usually traveling, so I usually wear like as comfy a shoe as possible. I'm not wearing like flats or sandals or anything. It's got a pretty substantial heel on it, so I probably gain an extra like inch or two, like just wearing my heels, just so that my calves look real good when I meet somebody for the first time. Just getting my legs looking real nice. Yeah, Bobby was shorter than I imagined.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was like I always thought that it would be like meeting Danny DeVito, like kind of like 4 feet both ways kind of thing.
That broke me.
I always picture
that broke me. That's really funny.
Yeah, just just a stumpy little guy. Just really, I just loved it.
No, I had no idea. Yeah, I always think of him as like a really big guy.
No, he was a big dude, but he was not tall.
like I expected him like 6'3".
He was like a cartoon character.
Huh.
Yeah. Did you really? You pictured him 6'3"?
Yeah. He just.
I mean, he's a larger than life.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely.
Especially like when he got the standing desk and everything, I was like, he's a tall dude.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Big, like I guess it's funny now that Kevin Smith has lost all his weight, he does maybe seem taller, but I think of Bobby and Kevin Smith in the kind of the same way, just with the big, like really baggy jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just kind of waddled around a little bit. Yeah.
I get that.
Oh man. Getting into his Prius. He picked me up from the train station. What a guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We would fight. We did.
Full circle.
Just right back to Bobby. I didn't buy any of the car stuff you were telling me about, and again, I don't know if this was recorded or we were just chatting about it afterwards. Wasn't. So I have a car, new to me, 2011 Scion TC 2-door, spiritual successor to the Celica.
You've taken ownership of it, right?
I've taken ownership. I didn't do nearly as much due diligence with it that I probably should have.
Nobody ever does. Don't blame yourself.
Yeah.
Especially when you're excited about something.
Yeah, and it's got dings. It's got all problems. I haven't
seen my Ventura in months, so
yeah.
Like I think your due diligence is better than mine.
Well, we'll see. We'll find out. It has a second set of tires. At least there's that. It has winter tires, so that's necessary up here. But I need to get it checked out. I need to at least know what I'm dealing with here.
Sure.
Because I don't know. Like it seems fine.
That's the first thing you got to do. Get into a shop.
Just find out exactly what I could be dealing with here. But it seems to drive fine. It's fun. It's really fun.
Know nearly enough about these cars, like the brand new cars. Are they
an offshoot of Toyota?
Are they highly sought after?
I don't think so. I think the guy actually had
the tuner realm.
It's you can mod the heck out of this thing. Yes. Sure. Yeah, you can get whatever you can do whatever you want to it.
Like Lancers, like Subarus, like that kind of thing, like Jettas.
Okay. Yeah, definitely Lancer territory for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like if I really wanted to.
Yeah, okay. That was like my impression when you sent it to me. I was like, okay. It's not like that's where I couldn't weigh in a whole lot because like that's not my expertise. I'm not in on that, but I'm kind of
I wasn't looking for it.
I'm aware of it.
I definitely wasn't like filtering for Scion.
I guess the point is I don't know if I was like, like is it like the Supra? Like, are they sought after? Like, they're hard to find, hard to buy?
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think they. I mean, Super is kind of a pretty storied car.
Yeah,
It's
and that
pretty
might be
historic.
just like the gold standard, but you know, like there are some of those tuner cars that are.
I know.
You know, like some of
I
them,
don't think
and
so.
the prices have exploded on those. Like as the Fast and Furious
Mm-hmm.
took off, like if you have, you know, like a Skyline.
Skyline
you
is
may
ridiculous.
have bought a Skyline for $30,000 in 2001, and the shit is worth $600,000 now.
Yeah. It's like dogs in movies. Like suddenly somebody's a breeder for, I don't know, St. Bernards, and Beethoven comes out, and it's just like, what
so
the
that's
heck?
what I was kind of thinking when you were like, I got this Scion TC. I was like, I wonder if that's like a really sought after like Scion. Like maybe that's the one of those. Yeah, even Celicas can be hard to come across these days.
They really are. Yeah, and maybe it's just a matter of time. But at this point, I don't think so.
Okay.
And it on it, like I said, I wasn't. I didn't even want a 2-door. I actually wanted a 4.
Then. So what is it that made you want it?
Like, I don't know.
Is this special to you? Like, have you always wanted one of these?
It was more the more I read into it, and it being sort of like a tie to the Celica back in the past.
Tell me that's the story. That's what I'm trying to get to.
That was really it. Well, I don't know. Like, and I feel like I was looking for. We say Celica, so I'm always like translating.
When you say that, it fucks my whole world.
I know, and I'm trying not to.
I've never heard anybody in my entire life say Celica. And the scary part is that I always question if that's the correct way to say it now. I'm like, have we been? Is it just
this
like
is why I'm stopping. It sounds like
up?
Well,
like, it's the
same with decals. It's the same with decals. I'll never
forget it. The first time you were like a Celica, I was like, the fuck?
What are you saying? Yeah. Send me some help, maybe. Like maybe this guy isn't as smart as I thought he was. He's just a bit of a dummy.
Celicas are hot with the ladies. In like the little car scene, you know, as I was coming up, man, the girls always wanted a Celica or an Eclipse.
What I liked about especially the Celicas was that they felt like they gripped the ground really nicely. I always felt like when I was in like a Lancer or something that, and no offense to anybody who has a Lancer or anything, but I always felt like they felt a little too tin. I know. I'm sorry. I'll just run through I'll run through all the other cars that I didn't buy and describe in great detail why they weren't worthy of my purchase. They just seem to like they had everything was the right dimension. I feel like I fit in them great. I feel like the wheel feels good to hold. The clutch is kind of what I expect to feel like because I drive a standard, so I think that has a lot to do with it.
Sure.
The shifter, like it all has to feel right and kind of like, I don't know, fall into place. And it seemed like something was always off with pretty much any other those other cars. Jetta, I've had a Jetta in the past, but I just wouldn't buy a Volkswagen again.
I've heard that's the biggest nightmare stories with the Volkswagens.
They just are. They're so expensive to fix.
Hate them. Yeah, most mechanics hate them.
Yeah,
but it's so weird because mechanics hate them when they break, but also like car people are like they're some of the best cars you could ever buy. But,
I guess
heaven forbid if you break one, and then it's like it's the hardest thing in the world to ever.
But yeah, and you're going to have to maintain a vehicle no matter what. So you buy a Volkswagen for not a BMW price, but you're paying BMW prices to fix this thing.
BMW is another one. Just German cars in general.
Pretty much. I hate to look how special this is.
Because the thing is that German engineering of cars is like the high class. It's S tier.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're trying to fix those cars in Canada or America, it doesn't go well.
Yeah. My dad only buys Volkswagens. I
know a lot of people like that. They only buy. I've known a few people in my life. They only buy I only drive European cars, or I've met one person who's like, I only buy German cars.
Yeah. Well, part of I've definitely locked in on Toyota, so that had something to do with the Scion being the one. Like I was probably looking for something like a Civic or a Corolla or something like that, and then this one popped up. I'm like, that one looks like it's got a little. I actually would love a Prelude. Yeah. Yeah,
I get the scene. I've heard that the scene. I get the flavor, the vibe, the car vibe that you're into. It's definitely very different than me, but I've had a few friends that are very similar to you, and I think in our age group, there's more of that than me. I'm very like old school. I like the cars, people's dads liked.
Yeah.
Whereas more of the people I know are more into your kind of thing. So it's not my thing, but it's also like interesting because it's not my thing. I'm always like poking and prodding. Because I will tell you, like, there's a part of me that's like, I just don't get it.
Mm,
And it's weird because I like the Lancers, but I
yeah.
drove one that was like fucking maxed.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is awesome. But
Oh,
then I
really?
also drove one that a girlfriend had that was like the most mom
Just
car of
basic.
mom car. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is not as good, so I guess that's a part of it,
Yeah.
is the tuning ability and making it your own, which is, I mean, that's every car is great like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like those tuner rides. It's just, they typically don't have, I don't know, like the eye candy appeal that I'm usually after.
Mm.
I like the
See,
big muscle curves, the sleek lines, the hard lines. I'm after that.
for some reason, and I like those too, and that's the thing. Like mine isn't necessary. I guess it's a preference because I ended up buying it, but for whatever reason, that just seems inaccessible to me. And I don't know exactly how else to describe it. It just seems like I can't get it, even though I could
Mhm.
just search for it, just like I did this one. And I don't know how else to describe it. It's like
Well,
I
yours is
shouldn't.
cool. You told me that it has like the entire roof is like glass.
The whole dang, yeah, it's got a
That's
moonroof, and then
fucking wild.
behind it is
What
glass
kind of
too. So
car
you
is it
can like
again?
a Scion TC. It's just the model is
I've
2011.
definitely I've driven it like in Forza. Like I've driven that car. That's always
That's the
fun
other
when you
thing.
can
It
when you can
seemed
drive a car like that in a game.
that's actually another part of it. Yeah, like these are like supers for sure is something I drive in Forza. I'm like, let's have that. And Chelsea was like, as she saw it, and her first words were, "This isn't quite like midlife crisis, so go for it." Like it's
Midlife
not
crisis.
like, you know.
I hate that. I'm gonna explain to you why I hate that, but right now I'm trying to find a tour where I can see this
I think I
moonroof.
agree with you. Because I see often, 40, 50, 60-year-old guys with their
But I
vets and
yelled at my
stuff.
father-in-law because he kind of, I'm not yelled, but I just had a strong disagreement with him about that. And I
Mhm.
won him over. Like I feel like I won that argument. So I'm about to give you that argument in a minute.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I'm with it. I think a lot of it just
I'm
has to do
looking
with
at the
where you
roof.
end
This
up
is
in
cool.
life.
Does yours pop out? Like, can you
Yeah.
get, oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Sunroof. Like,
That's so nice, man.
yeah.
I love a
Yeah.
good sunroof or T-tops.
Yeah.
Like that's good stuff. All right. So the midlife crisis thing. When I bought my Challenger, I definitely had a couple people who are like, everybody who's a midlife crisis. My boss did it. My father-in-law
Yeah.
didn't say that, but he said it in passing. And I was just like, I'm getting real tired of this. I told my boss this
Mm.
too. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, everybody says it's a midlife crisis. He's like, that's what happens. He's like, people get in their 30s and 40s and buy cars they was wanted. I was like, yeah, because it's the first time in their lives they can afford them.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
So
Definitely.
what crisis is
How
this?
else?
It's not midlife opportunity.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford them when they were 21.
Mm-hmm.
And any 21-year-old that had one didn't afford it.
They were selling drugs.
They were given to them.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no midlife. Don't tell me midlife. There's no
I'm
crisis
with you,
about it. It's
man.
opportunity. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
When
go
I
after people.
very ageist. You're
It's
only
just like, and I realize that it's like, it is tongue in cheek and just joking. It's meant to be
yeah.
as like a throwaway statement. But as I told my father-in-law, I was like, like people say that, and it's like, what else am I supposed to buy?
Yeah.
I've been working my entire life driving cars I could only barely afford to a point
Totally.
where I could finally buy something that I want. And then you get, jokes made in your expense because you didn't buy a minivan, SUV,
Yeah. But I also feel like wouldn't we be making fun of the minivan for
I
the
feel
last
like
20
the
years
midlife
anyways?
crisis car is like the retiree that buys a Ferrari
I feel like, but I think your
or the
logic holds true for
Corvette.
that.
You
The
know, it's like
Corvette is,
the
yeah, that's what I keep
58-year-old who
seeing.
retired who gets the Corvette. Like that's midlife crisis, and it's not midlife, but like that's like crisis mode. That's like,
Late life
like I'm
crisis.
clinging to something here.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like,
know. I think you would, if you fast forward however many years, like I think you could say the exact same thing. Like maybe it's just your house is paid off, your kids are taken care of, like
fair,
same opportunity kind of
fair.
presents itself there too. But it just doesn't it doesn't fit the Hollywood kind of mode.
It's a
Like you
weird,
should be.
it's a weird stereotype that's become popularized, I think. It's just weird.
Well, just like so many other things, I think you're just the first one to call this out, and give it 15 years and that term won't be a thing anymore.
It'll be a thing. It'll be like,
No, we'll focus on something else, I guess. But yeah, like
yeah.
people will be like, maybe we should be more tolerant and maybe not make people feel so uncomfortable by declaring that they're in a midlife crisis.
Yeah, because I had a Mazda B2000, and then I had a Mercury Sable, and then I had a Dodge Dakota,
Yeah.
and then I had a Toyota Camry, and then I had a Dodge Grand Caravan until I had my Challenger.
This car is very similar to one of the last cars I had was it was my second car, a 1996 Mazda MX-6.
Ooh.
A Ford Probe was the other version. You could get a Ford Probe or MX-6, and the parts were basically interchangeable.
97, the coupe.
Yeah, 2-door.
It's got some little lines, kind of like
I like that one.
Like a Miata.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like it was MX-3 was the Presidia, smaller version of this. MX-5 was the Miata. MX-6 was this one. I can't remember what it was called. Like it was a name. Like I'm saying, like the model letters and whatever. But
some of these are really nice.
Yeah, I liked it. It was black. It was very very slick, tan
nice
leather inside.
Tire packages on these cars.
It got stolen though, so I have bad memories of that one.
And this fits the profile again. Like I can see the flavor of cars you're into or gravitate to.
Yep.
And I can see it.
If that's the only thing, like it's not.
I don't think it's Paul Walker of our group.
I guess so. Look at that. I mean, I hope not. I hope
you're the Paul Walker to my Dom.
Hopefully for many many more movies, man. I go to charity events, man. I drive home from charity events all the time. Don't put that on me. Yeah, I hope not. God, it's so funny.
I feel like I drove all of these cars in Gran Turismo like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I know about them all. Prelude, Skylines, S2000, Super.
It's just loud. I was saying to Ryan, I don't even know if I can record it. It's loud. It's like road noises. No, I don't think muffler. I don't think is loud. I think like driving it on the highway is like this. Is loud.
Like cabin noise.
I have to turn when I'm listening to you guys.
Oh, that is not
like podcasts.
It's loud. I was like, you see me? I was like, whoo,
yeah.
What's under the hood, Sean?
Just rumbling through the entire
I got
block.
Excited. I was like, ooh, let's hear it.
I'd love to start stashing some money away and do
loud
that
in the car.
No, just in the car, just like it's gonna fall apart at any moment.
That's so deflating.
I'll get there. Muffler. I'd much rather maybe you're like this too. Like the engine sound amazing than like the muffler to do all that. I don't know. I don't like any of that stuff.
No. I don't generally like cars and they zip by with their little,
just
sounding mufflers. Nah.
They're a dime a dozen too. Like you just get
real power doesn't need to do that. Now I do like good exhaust, but good exhaust only comes from real power.
Yeah,
you should hear the engine first.
Yeah,
the sound of the car should come from the front of the car, not the back of the car.
Well, or you could feel it. I think I told you before. My speaking of Miatas, my have you heard of these monster Miatas things? I'm sure we've talked about this.
No,
a buddy of mine was really into cars. His dad did this thing where you can he swapped out the engine.
Miatas, by the way,
he swapped out the engine and actually needed a whole like different hood and a hood scoop because he put in a 5-liter Mustang engine into this thing.
I'm looking at one on
tripled the size of the tires in the back, and
this guy has like a 3-foot spoiler on the back of this.
Yep, they're just ridiculous. They go like the power to weight ratios are like F1 cars. They're just insane.
They're just super light and small.
Yeah, they weigh nothing. Rear wheel drive. You throw the engine in the front, and it's just enormous. And speaking of hearing the engine, like we would feel like he would start this car in the garage, and the china would shake on the walls.
Yeah,
like you'd be like it was dangerous to do it. Like you like maybe roll that down the street. You would love this. And lots of guys will figure out what they can do to tune their Miata to that level. It's just complete transformation. Like technically, it's a Miata because part of the body is, but everything else is totally swapped out. The tire, I've never seen tires like this, man. They must have cost $1,000 a piece.
Really?
They were because they had to be. There's so much power transferred to these rear wheel tires, and if you don't have them, it'll just
my Challenger wheels are the first time that I felt like I was like maybe too poor for car ownership.
Look at those things. Oh my god!
I had to I had to get a credit card for the wheels that I put on the Challenger. Wheels and tire kit together. Yeah. I was like, it's gonna take some payments on my part.
Seriously. Well, that was the thing that surprised me about the Scion was because I mentioned it came with another set of tires, and we have a truck right now. We've got winter tires for the truck, but these tires are wider than the truck tires. I'm like,
our listeners may not know the common occurrence. You did tell me this after the show last time of what winter tires are.
Oh yeah, you need special grip on them, man. We gotta.
So in Canada,
Yep.
it's very common for people to swap their own tires. They have a set dedicated for winter driving versus regular driving.
Would
So
you call like the tires that you put on just like all season? Like, would you call them that?
yeah, they're all around
Yeah.
tire. My
So
tires are
in Canada, there is, and somebody will be much more versed in this than me, but as my recollection was
You
that.
remember I grew up in Ohio, and this is even foreign to me, like in Ohio. Like
Oh,
I don't recall
interesting.
anybody having, winter tires or seasonal tire like changing. And I'm sure that they probably do.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
you
would
can't.
imagine in Ohio that they probably just sell bigger treaded tires than here.
Well,
So
and that's why
the
when you
normal
guys,
tire is probably just a little more tread on it.
John 32 says you get insurance breaks for it. Not here, I don't think. That's in
Wow.
Ontario. That's really interesting. In Quebec, it's the law. You must have them.
Wow.
But this is why I think Canadians don't realize this when snow falls in America and everybody like freaks out and there's accidents and everything. And people are like, I guess they just don't know how to handle winter like us. It's like, no, they have all season tires on them. And my recollection is that there was some sort of maybe like lawsuit or some sort of legislation that was coming in that you can't call them all season, because in Canada those don't work in the winter in one of the biggest seasons here. Like,
I'd be interested in hearing from like Jason or Lucas if that's a thing in like Michigan, maybe, or like Kyle. Kyle was in like Minnesota for a while. I wonder if maybe they do something like that as well.
I'm sure,
because like in Ohio, we put chains in our tires. That was a thing.
Yeah,
but not. It definitely, and because you told me that it's very common for just people to swap it. Like you're out there,
just do
Jack.
It. Yeah, I'll do it.
That was definitely not a thing where I grew up.
That's
Cleveland,
the most
there's
like
nobody out there
just
swapping tires on cars. Yeah.
Well, they got to be. I won't swap like the rubber. They got to be on. They got to be on wheels.
Sure, but even I just don't ever recall anybody putting up their car to swap.
Oh, it feels great.
And rims.
I'm
sure it does, but like
torque wrench. Yeah.
How do you do it? Do you have like just
I have like a torque wrench and you pop
jack?
It up on him. Yeah, standard jack. Just throw it up on
jack stands. Do you do all four at once or
all four? Two at a time. Like
so you go one side and the next.
Yep. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's another. Yeah. You throw the jack in the back and then.
I've thought about investing into some things to let me get a little under the hood and do a little more. But to be honest with you, like the cost of investment to do it and the time and everything, it just doesn't worth. It's just so much cheaper to just pay somebody to do it.
Well, the thing that we run into and the reason that I end up doing it myself more than anything is everybody does it all at the same time. So trying to get it in to take your car into somewhere, like it's really hard to.
I didn't even think about that.
Unless you're doing it now, September, like you're always going to feel super early about it, and then you're running your winter tires on just asphalt. So that can get a little bit tricky.
Makes sense.
But I don't know how this car is going to handle with the jack, because some of these cars can get a little too low to the ground.
So I've thought about changing my own oil and stuff.
Oh, there's no way, dude. My dad tried to get me on changing my own oil. He's like, that's how this is like you taking care of your car. And I did it twice. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This is a Sunday afternoon.
I've done it. It is kind of a hassle. It's not hard.
It's totally a hassle. Oh,
it's a hassle. And it saves you not much.
$15.
Because even if like I buy expensive oil and expensive oil changes, my wife yells at me, especially in the Challenger.
Oh no,
my Challenger gets the best.
Yeah.
And nothing less. Like I'm just not cheap with it at all.
Yeah, I'm
premium gas, premium oil. My oil change's like $100.
Premium, dude.
Yeah. My oil change's like $100. And she's like, God, that's so much. I'm like, yeah, but you realize if I went to AutoZone and I told them I need 5 quarts of your premium oil and a filter, it's like $65.
I know.
And I was like, and if I put the car up on jacks, it takes me, let's say I'm really efficient about 2 hours.
Oh man.
Between the whole thing. It'd take you 30 minutes, but it's the preparing. It's the ramp, it's the thing. Yeah, it's the whole thing. It's an activity. So it's like 2 hours a time. It's like it's not worth it. Just pay them to do it. It's just so easy.
Warranty approved. It's all that good
stuff. If something goes wrong, it's their fault.
Like
it's so much easier just to do that instead.
I think I've changed the oil twice, so I guess I can say that. That's the benefit. I've done it, but I don't need to. I got better things to do. This gets into a whole other thing about what can we pay people to do for us? And is that an affordable way of living? Maybe that's part of it. Is even at one time for my parents saving that $15-$20 to change the oil, like that's part of the
Over the
lifestyle. That
course
was,
of a year, that's a budget, you know, you're working in there.
it was every decision surrounded that,
But at
for
the same
sure.
time, your economy needs that $15. Other people need jobs, they need to eat too.
That's true. Well, should we have people to mow the lawn for us and shovel the walk and all these other things, clean the house? That's definitely something we think about a lot.
My wife wants a cleaning lady. She
I
grew
want
up
one.
with a person that came once a week to clean, and I'm like it's such,
Wow.
she's so princessy. I'm
Mhm.
like, look at this
That's
entitlement.
That's really tough to come into. I would imagine that'd be tough to come into a relationship with somebody like that, where like they were. It's just
You know,
totally different.
Okay, so yeah, we can dive into this a little bit because it is. You're not wrong. I still want to
I'll
talk about your
bet.
car, but you're not wrong. Because here's the thing. There's been a very distinct difference between my wife and I. My wife despises cleaning. Utterly hates it.
Yeah.
Because in her house, her dad always made the family clean at like the fucking at sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
First thing in the
Get up
morning.
and get after it.
And yeah, like he blared music, and he like in her family, they yell a lot. It's how they communicate. There's a lot of yelling.
Yeah.
So just the idea of cleaning, the activity of cleaning to her is very stressful.
Yeah.
And it puts her like in a bad mood, like almost instantly. She just doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Whereas my mom was extremely like very into cleaning.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Just super into cleaning. Like my mom would think that my house is horrendous most days. The cleaning standards of my mom compared to the cleaning standards of my wife are extremely far apart, not in the same ballpark. My mom, you know, when I was cleaning with my mom, even my aunt, like when I lived with my aunt, same way. Like I think generally just my whole family are much like cleaner people.
Yeah.
My aunt mopped her floors every day.
Yeah.
When I lived with my aunt, and we mopped the floors every day, cleaned the bathrooms every day. We dusted every day. Like those are daily chores.
See, and that actually sounds great to me. Like when I do clean, which is obviously
but when
not
I
every day,
clean, I find it very like relaxing and almost cathartic. When I clean, I'm doing that. I almost clean when I get stressed out. Like if there's a lot going on, I'll start cleaning shit.
Yeah,
because it just gets my mind off of it. I'll put headphones on or something, and I'll just start cleaning.
Yep.
Like my basement is always, but it is generally how I am. My basement is the cleanest room in the house.
Yeah.
Always. Like it's not close because again, we've had to learn to live. Like I just don't look in my wife's closet anymore. It's just, it's lost. It's just gone. It's like that's her space, and I just don't deal with it anymore. Because if I tried to deal with it, it would stress me out and it would stress her out. So I just let her wreck it. But she knows the same thing goes true with like my stuff in the basement. Like, don't touch it, don't move it, leave it alone. Everything is in its place. It's all clean and everything. And she knows not to, you know, don't like leave your stuff. Like, for example, like don't leave your, like if we eat dinner while we're watching a movie, like don't leave your dirty dishes down here.
Yeah.
Because that annoys me because my space is very like tidy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is something we've had to like, you know, make concessions with and just kind of, I just have to get over it. And it's really hard when like when I work from home. Again, I generally just try to stay out of those areas.
Yep.
Because I'll just get like really worked up of like, does nobody care about anything anymore? You know, like so yeah.
That is such a maybe just for us too. That is such a, I don't know, classic experience.
Yeah.
Like, where am I supposed to, like, you just like walk away. Like you either take care of it or you don't. And it can look like you're just being absent, but it's like, actually, this is a bit of a defense mechanism because otherwise I'll lose my mind.
It's a keeping the peace thing. You know, it's like we can either have an argument and blow up about this or we can just let it go.
Yeah. I blow up about it every like maybe 7 months or so.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just about to say once or twice a year.
Yeah. It's like I've had it with this, and
my wife knows that we'll get to a point where if I've told her about something, I'll give her like maybe like 5 warnings. Like, we need to do something about this. She'll be like, all right. Yeah. I'm like, we need to do something about this. She'll be like, okay, I will. I'm like, we need to do something about this. And she'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, but I've already asked you twice.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it starts to go down that road. And that's when it's like, all right, you either do this or I will. And you're not going to like the way that I do it.
See, that's I haven't gotten to that point where I actually do, because I totally know that feeling. I'm going to throw out stuff.
I had a huge, I'll openly admit to it. Listeners, I don't care. They can judge me. I had an extremely like explosive toxic moment maybe 10 years ago, maybe 2013, 14, something like that, where there was a box of books like in my garage that needed to go somewhere. And these are books that there's a reason there's a box of books. They weren't being used ever. Right. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to take care of them. I want to find a place for them. And they just kept sitting there and they kept sitting there and they kept sitting there and they kept sitting there. And I probably gave her like 8 months of warnings. And I just chucked them. The entire thing was gone. She was like, and like one day she came by, she's like, where are my box of books? I'm like, what box of books? The box of books are in here. I'm like, well, I told you to get rid of them for a year and you didn't. So I did. Like, obviously you're not missing them. You didn't even know they were gone.
Totally. Yeah, that's so how did it go?
Because we had a whole argument about it. Yeah. Like,
oh boy.
Yeah, we had a whole argument about it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was a real toxic moment, but eventually I will reach that point. And I think, honestly, that was the point. That's the point where now, like, we don't let it get that far anymore. Like, I let her have her space. She lets me have my space. But if it gets too far without warning, like, I try to be a lot better about it. Like, it was just
no, I get it, man. I'm not that sigh is a sigh of understanding, and I kind of want to do it.
Like, our bedroom had a pile. She's just really bad about pile. Like, the worst thing. Here's the other thing that I've learned not to give my wife spaces. Like, the last thing she needs is shelves and tables and anything.
Right, they'll be filled.
To put exactly,
they will be maxed out.
Exactly. So in our room, like, it's our room, it's not our room, it's her room. Like, in her room, her entire side of the bed, dude, at one point, it was like just 2 feet, like you couldn't walk. You had to crawl over the bed because there's just stuff. And I asked about it and eventually I was just like, look, you need to do something about this soon.
Yeah.
But now when I say that, because of 10 years ago, now it means something because she knows.
Amazing. Yeah.
She's like, he'll burn all this shit.
He will. He will set dynamite to this. It will explode.
Like, it will go away.
Does it? So I guess you were kind of talking about this before, like with the cleaning in your space, like you just don't even touch the other kind of parts of the house.
No,
because I struggle with that.
I do clean. Probably not as much as she would like, but a lot of it is just the constant. Like, that's the thing is I feel I can already feel somebody that disagrees with me saying things in response. I have a hard time like our dining room, right? She has a desk in it. I can't clean the dining room while her desk is a disaster.
Right.
So like, if I'm gonna clean the dining room, I'm gonna clean the dining room. Right. So like, often when I help clean, I do the dishes. Like, I stay in the kitchen because I can clean the whole kitchen. Right. I can't clein her room because I end up throwing everything away, and I can't clean the dining room because I end up throwing everything away, and I can't clean the kids' rooms because I end up throwing everything away. Right. So I clean the kitchen. Like, that's typically my thing is I clean the kitchen, the garage. Yeah. And then I clean my space. But when I say I clean my space, like down here in the basement, like I
wipes are right there. Yes.
But, dude, I have stuff like literally within arm's reach.
Do we have the same stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. I buy the Pledge electrical cleaner by the case. I have like 8 bottles of this.
It's all here. Yeah, dude, we are exactly the same. Yep.
We all have the same thing. So I wiped down, because the listeners don't know. If they don't listen to PSVG, they don't know. I've had an eye infection for a week. Yeah. And it's better now. Sean saw the gross part of it. It was really bad. But I've been disinfecting the entire basement space all day.
Yeah.
And I generally clean, like I wipe down all my tables, my screens, my keyboards before I game.
I love that. I actually want to get into that habit.
I kind of tidy up before I work. I was always this way. I'm the same way, like with college work. I'm the same way when I'm doing work. Like I can't really, I feel like I can't be very productive in a littered, dirty environment. It's like I got to kind of straighten up before I can even do stuff.
Yep. It's because you lived by yourself for many years. I feel like you learned to take care of yourself. I think that's really what that comes down to. Like, you cooked, you cleaned for yourself, and you can either do that and just learn to live with a mess, or you can figure out that there's tricks of the trade. Like, every time, like whenever I go upstairs, like I always have a drink here, but I never have another one. Like anytime I leave, like something's coming with me.
Yeah.
And I actually do a bit of like a check with me. Like I got my phone in my pocket and some garbage is coming with
I have
me,
a trash can
at the very least.
I have a trash can here. Like
I don't even
nearby.
have a trash can down here for that reason. I don't even want to have a trash can to empty.
I have too much stuff, I think, to always be doing that. I have a trash can down here.
Yeah.
And then what I do is when it fills up, I'll take it up, I put the trash in the trash can, and then I'll get a new trash bag, come back down, put in a new trash can.
I think I get it from my mom. My mom never wanted like bins in the bathrooms or anything. We never had that. Like, and I kind of like that. I hate changing out the garbage in the bathrooms.
My mom
can't get away from it.
My mom was diehard, and we're talking baseboards, windowsills.
Oh, same here, dude. I don't remember
ceilings.
Ever our house being like the sink. I didn't even know, like it was so clean. I didn't even know sinks got dirty. I know no bathtubs like got gross.
Yeah,
like they were just.
The only thing I don't do now is laundry.
Same. I would like to do it, but it's mostly just a scheduling thing. How can I get in there?
I hate doing the laundry.
Yeah,
I always.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
When I lived alone, I didn't mind, but I also didn't. The laundry with a family is such a chore. The machines are never open. You know, it's not something I can just like go do. Like when I lived alone, it was like I have to do laundry on Saturday, and I did laundry, and I never had to do laundry again.
Yep.
Whereas like with a family, it's just constantly laundry.
Yeah.
Right? So I just stay out of that. I'm just like, you know what? Because I end up messing up her plans or schedules or loads or my daughter. I'm like,
same.
Just fuck it.
Yeah. Way before kids ever came into it. Way before kids ever came into it. Even when Chelsea and I were kind of like quasi living with each other, I'd be over at her condo and she's like, I'm just doing laundry. I'm like, you don't have to do my laundry. She's like, I'm just doing it. Like, all right, I guess you're just trying to get married. Is that what you're trying to do here? You're just trying to get me to propose? Like, is that what's happening here?
I think,
I don't.
Ultimately, that's what my wife would like most is like if we could hire a laundry service, just let somebody do all the laundry.
I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. Laundry's a pain, man. That's
the thing is
a lot of folding.
She had a cleaning lady. I don't know if that's an appropriate term or whatever, but housemaid, whatever.
Person. Yeah.
They came by twice a week, did all the laundry.
Twice a week.
And dusted and mopped all the floors twice a week for them.
Yeah.
So and like I always tell her like her house was like 3 times the size of our house.
That's a lot of money.
You know, so it's just like it doesn't equate to me. She's like, we should get a cleaning lady. I'm like, why? We have 3 rooms. You know, like it's not that big of a deal. But if you recall earlier in the thing, the difference is my wife is constantly filling her schedule. So she doesn't make it a priority to clean until it just absolutely has gone too far and she has
then it takes forever to do, which it's the whole if you just
constant
keep
cycle
up with
me
it.
and my wife.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
That's probably our biggest struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cleaning. Ugh. It bugs me when I see it get left to a certain point. And it's usually me that I just want to make sure that probably sounded terrible. That usually is when I've let something get to a certain point and I'm like, oh, that really frustrates me. I can't believe I've let this happen. And that's the issue. I actually just had a realization I could clean even better to your point about there just being stuff kind of everywhere. I just need like a tub, like a bin of some sort. I'm just going to if something's in my way to clean it, it's just going in the bin and somebody else can come back later and put it back in its place. But I need to just get surfaces clean and clear and nothing on it. I don't know where it's supposed to go. I don't know what it is. I just need it off the surface or off the floor or something.
Well, see, I've done that too, but then that also will create, I've definitely cleared entire rooms and just dumped it all.
Yeah.
Like on her bed. Like this is your stuff, but she hates that too. So again, I think the Switzerland ground is for me to kind of stay out of that way and for her to stay out of, that's why I generally think it's just really, really nice that I have my own space.
Totally. Same here.
Like when you remember my whole family got COVID and I didn't.
Yeah.
And when I reported that back to work, they were just astonished. They were like, you're gonna get it. And I'm like, I think you guys really underestimate the distance between me and my family on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
It's like we cohabitate, we have shared spaces, but I'm generally in the basement and they're generally upstairs.
Yep.
85% of the time.
We're so the same on that. It's usually lately I've just found myself just compelled to go upstairs. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm I just got to get out of here every once in a while. But if I needed to, if I could stay down here, I have everything I need.
Like my family, it's not like you know, it's not personal anything. It's just, this is my space.
It's mostly this chair.
This is where I'm watching the sports. This is where I'm playing the games. This is where I'm doing my thing. So
This-
everybody knows this is where I am. If you need me, I'm here.
What chair do you have now? I feel maybe we talked about this before.
We
used to have the same one.
We did, and I did not like that chair.
This chair sucks.
Yeah, that was not good. I spent a lot of money on the chair.
Same.
So when that chair flopped, and I started doing more remote work, I talked my boss is constantly asking us if we need stuff, generally at the office, because we've got budgets that have to be exhausted. So he'll come through, and everybody's like, I want a new iPad or a new Surface or a new, you know, desk calendar or a new keyboard, and I never have, like, for years, to the point where they're like, anything, Donnie, just say something, please. And I'm like, I'm good. I don't need anything. Keyboard works, mouse works. Like, I don't need anything. So last year I went to him and I was like, I actually do need something now. It's like, I need a real chair. My chair is killing me. So he bought me a 911 dispatcher's chair.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, he went to our dispatch, you know, because we're over the 911 dispatch center. So he went to our dispatch provider and he was like, well, we've got a person who's doing remote work and it's generally computer work. And he's like, we need the same thing they have on the floor. And it was delivered and everything. It was like an $1,800 chair.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
like, I would, and I'm sure it's marked up because they sell direct to governments. I'm sure it's a huge markup. That's the
worst. How is that? They buy in bulk and it always costs more. It doesn't make any sense.
Like, our chair budget for the dispatch center, it's like 20 grand.
Oh my gosh. It's like you're buying a fleet of vehicles. It's like, how is that? How does it, that frustrates me, but I'm glad that you have it. That's great.
It's much better.
But why does it take so much for chairs? These are critical. We all sit. Why is it so expensive?
I think that's the thing. Yeah, like, if you really truly sit and do like computer work, the variance between a professional chair and a chair is enormous.
It's too great. Forget
Everest. It's Everest. Like, you think the difference between a good chair and a bad chair at Staples is like the $400 chair or the $1,200 chair? The chairs that we buy at work make the $1,200 chair at Staples look like trash.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I need something better though. This is like, it's just not.
I hated that chair. I was so upset. That chair lasted me like 2 months.
Oh,
and by the time it was over, I was in like huge, like, now obviously I'm overweight and not in shape, but I was in like massive like sciatica pain. I was constantly having to like stretch and do, like, because it was just killing me. It was killing my back to sit in the chair.
You could see it in the podcast, or you'd always be
a
good like little neck stretch in or something, just trying to get some relief.
Yep.
And it's like, it never really does anything, but you're just like still doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. And you are much better about that though, of like, even if you spend a lot of money on something and it's not the thing, you're like, that's not the thing.
Yeah.
Where like, for whatever reason, it doesn't make any sense, but I'm like, I guess I'll just sit in this piece of garbage.
Dude, I bought the C2, the TV. It's my new monitor.
Ooh. It's your monitor. Yes.
I tried like hell to get like something cheaper, and I kept looking and looking and looking and looking.
Yeah.
And then Dev and I were talking, as always. We're talking, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy the thing that I want, like the thing that we know is good. I'm just gonna do that. And the older I get, the more and more I just know this thing. Yeah,
you just know this about yourself, and it's funny. Graphics cards are all on sale right now. Like, they're so inexpensive.
An overstock, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I guess so.
Weird. They were gone for like 2 years, and all of a sudden they can't get rid of them fast enough.
I don't
get it. Did like all the crypto bros stop doing it or something? Like, what happened?
I think so. I think they crashed. I think crypto, like, I think it's all kind of coming down, so nobody's buying them anymore.
So maybe that is the thing.
Maybe, I don't know.
I was wondering, is it like people are only buying the newest one, so any of the other ones are just not moving?
The 4000.
Is that kind of what happened to you with you, right? Like, you bought one and you couldn't move your old one?
Definitely had. I ate garbage on that.
That sucks.
A 3090 Ti 24 gig at Best Buy is $1,100 off right now.
$1,100 off.
Yeah. Wow, it's selling for $14.99 Canadian, which is like maybe 1,000 or 1,100 US, something like that. That is bonkers, dude.
I'm hoping I don't need to buy a graphics card for a very long time.
Dude, I haven't even used mine at all. I find myself looking at this.
I have mostly transitioned to being like what I would, if you were to ask me, like, what do you play games on? I'm a PC gamer at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm not into PC gaming like that. Like, I don't want to crack my case open. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I got to upgrade all these parts and I need a new
That's a good place to
motherboard
be
and a
in.
new thing.
Yeah,
Like
good.
I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
I just want it
Even
to
though
work.
you're kind of, but you're still kind of like surrounded by it. Like you could still be tempted, but you're not. Like that's good.
No,
You can
I'm
still
not.
hear about it and talk about it, but like be like,
there's no like itch in me at all to like
yeah,
chase marginal gains. I'm like, I just want it to work.
that's really what it is. And the more you hold true to that is probably for the better. Like spending $1,000 for like 4 extra frames. It's like
my thing is my PC gives me everything that I want. I'm playing Valhalla at 4K 60 on Ultra with everything turned on. I don't have any issues, and it's like that's what I want. That was my Dying Light experience. That's what I'm hoping my Call of Duty experiences is. Like that's all I want.
Ooh, yes. I was watching Mitch Power play on Twitch earlier, and I'm like, I don't know if this might be the first time I buy Call of Duty not on Xbox.
Wow.
I might buy it on PC.
I'm on PC.
That could be fun. But honestly, it goes back to this chair.
I pre-ordered Sonic on PC.
What? Wow. Yeah, you're there, man.
Yeah, I really am. Like when I get money to spend on games, if it's not an exclusive, that's like the first thing is, can I get it on Steam? Is there a deal on Steam? Am I saving any money at all, on Steam? And then it's like, can I save any money anywhere else? And if the answer is no, then I'm getting on Steam.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be an advantage for me to play it on console. It's got to be exclusive, and there's got to be something baked in. Like it was on a ridiculous sale, so I got it on Xbox for $7.
Don, can we pin this for like 30 seconds? Can I run to the water? I don't want to end it. I want to keep chatting for another 6 hours. Can I just go I'm just gonna run the water real quick. 1 second.
Well, I get to vamp, and I'm not as skilled as Mr. Capri in the solo stuff, but let's see here. Chat, if you have any questions, now's the time. You can definitely send them my way, and I will try to answer them. And if not, I'm going to continue looking at Scion TC's, Sean's car. They're kind of nice. I didn't ask him what year his car was, which is I mean, they all generally look the same. I do kind of like it. It's kind of has like this for anybody out there that's not as into the cars, kind of looks like a Dodge Caliber. I'm not sure if that rings the bell. Like that was definitely like more of an SUV, but it does have like this kind of hatchback wagon type look, but it's definitely like a car, like a coupe. It's kind of like a mix between the two different styles. It's interesting. It's definitely unique. Sporty. It's really sporty. I love that moonroof. It's kind of boxy. I need to ask him which year it is so I can figure out the front end on it. All right, he sent me pictures. I guess I could just look at the pictures of it. That would work as well. I didn't even think about that. I was very excited when he got his car. He did tell me that it was like the crazy splurge car purchase that he was going after. Let's see here.
You talking about me?
Oh, you're back already. Yeah, I was looking up. I didn't ask you. I forgot to get what year.
2011.
Okay. I was looking at
second gen-ish.
It was looking at the grills, and I was like, is it the little grill, like the slim grill? Is it the big grill? There's like a one that has like big plastic front end.
I don't think so. I don't think
it looks like it's the sleek one.
Yeah.
I like that moonroof though. And I was trying to explain to like anybody out there, it's kind of almost like a crossover, like a Dodge Caliber kind of. It's like it's not like a wagon or a hatchback, but kind of. Like
technically, it is. That opens like a hatch.
Yeah, you're right there on the Venn diagram. Like you're right there. It's neat. It's a unique car.
Yeah, it's kind of different. It's got a flat bottom on the steering wheel, which feels kind of interesting.
Really?
Yeah, it's like kind of like a race car, I guess. It's really thick. The wheel is like it's got one of those wraps on it, but it's just that's the wheel. Like it feels heavy, feels girthy. You wrap your hands around, you're like, wow, look at the girth on this thing.
It is kind of like a race car.
Yeah.
Do you have the flat screen in the dash?
Yeah, it's funny. 2011, like they didn't really have too much advancements on this.
Sure, it's old, but it's
an Alpine. It's an Alpine deck that has a Scion on it. Like I guess it's special for Scion.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, I would upgrade that just for the.
That's what I'm wondering.
Just for the experience.
Yeah, all the things. It did like no backup camera, which is a funny thing to kind of go back to.
My wife apparently has to have one, and we had to put in a makeshift one in the Prius.
That's what I'm wondering.
The Prius has in the back of the Prius, there's like a bar that comes right across the middle of the the windshield.
Oh yeah,
You can't really
that's
see. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And I can't see the back out of Challenger either. And she's like, "How do you back it up?" I'm like, "I don't.
Yeah.
Just drive forward."
Mm-hmm.
With Spark, you can go straight.
Yeah, you get really used to it once you have it, and then it's a stark reminder, like, oof, like that's not there. The weird thing is
It was like $200 to put one in, and it
that's what I
plugs
was
into her
wondering.
thing, and we had to wire it in,
Yeah.
and then it sits on the windshield, and she can look out the back.
There's like you can plug one in, you can get an aftermarket one, and it's like you can see it in the menu. Like, is this thing on or off? Like, are you going to turn on your backup camera or not? Like, it's waiting for you to just.
What they do is they splice it into your reverse light.
Yeah.
So when you put your car in gear, it'll turn on.
It powers it up. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I would totally ruin that. Any electrical, I'd be like,
it's a pretty easy job.
I'm sure it is.
I let Best Buy do it because I had Total Tech here, and they just did it for free.
Well, a lot of it is just like wiring, like hiding the cables and popping off the panels.
Yeah, but I would have done it if I didn't have it done for free. I would have done it myself. That's not too big of a deal.
Mm-hmm. Part of me does like the stereo is pretty good. Like speaking of maybe midlife crisis type of stuff, like I love a good subwoofer, 2 of them.
Hell yeah,
like 2 10-inch subs. Like
I didn't put subs in the Challenger to Dev's dismay, but I did upgrade all of the speakers.
Yeah,
the entire sound like scape, and I audio proof the doors.
That's what I want to do. Yeah, I think that might even help out with the road noise as well.
Oh,
There's
for
a couple areas of this car that I could do that with.
You can get that. They make that like that. It's not Velcro. It's like that. That sticky foil.
Yeah,
you can just pull the carpet and the seat. You can get crazy if you really want to go down to the stud butt.
See, this is the thing. Like I haven't gotten to that. I'm exploring.
It's so funny that it's not something I think I've ever really cared to notice is the sound inside the car. That is definitely something my wife notices.
I only noticed because the
cabin feels louder, or
I only because I had to turn podcast volume very, very high to hear.
As I say, I always listen to everything so loud it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, no music it wouldn't be. Yeah, I'd max that out kind of no matter what. But in order to hear
windows
what people are saying,
music blasting, driving kind of guy.
Yeah,
you'll hear me when I come by.
I love that. The speakers are great. That's the thing. I mean, good thing they can keep up with it. The speakers are awesome, and that's it's funny because I was asking the guy who owned it before, like a little bit about it, and he's like, I don't know, I don't listen to music at all. And I went into the settings. I thought that was very strange. I'm like,
strange,
nothing.
What are you? There are people buried in the yard. Like, what is?
He's just
what a weird way to. Even if I was like that, I would never answer the question that way to anybody.
Yeah, just
let's say I hated music and somebody was like, "Hey man, how's the speakers?" I'm like, "They're great." I would never be like, "I wouldn't know. I don't like music."
Yeah,
like that is such a turn. That is so noticeable. I'm like, what?
Well, he was telling the truth, man. Not that you would really lie about that sort of thing. Like it was all the settings were default, like right from the start, just like bass, treble, everything was just everything was.
My wife's car sound system is better than the Challenger's. It's really nice. The Prius,
yeah,
Bose speakers and everything is really, really nice.
I haven't had good speakers in a car in a long, long time. The Tacoma we have is everything's basic. Like Corollas we've had are just like basic.
That'll probably be the next thing that I waste money on the Ventura whenever I get the Ventura back.
Yeah,
I did buy a new head unit for it because it was just trash.
Yeah,
but the speakers are not great. And I'm
imagining what kind of unit, what kind of deck did you get?
I bought a. It's made by Classic Industries.
Okay,
it's made to look like a radio from the 50s.
That's why,
but it has Bluetooth and MP3 and stuff in it. That's hidden. So it just looks like an old dial in the dash. But it's better. That's
cool. Yeah, you definitely have to go something pretty specific on that because you don't want to throw in like a Sony. Whatever
yeah, and that's exactly
like
what
with
was
the
in
lights
it.
and everything.
That's exactly what was in it.
It was in it already. Oh, that's
cheap,
amazing.
Single din. Sony,
$120
blue lights with like orange dash, and it didn't work, and it was all crackly and crumbly, and I was like, "This has got to go."
A Rammstein CD in there,
gotta go. It had to go. So, and you could tell like whoever did it threw it in there himself.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, it was.
Dude, I remember thinking the first time I ever got into any of that, I remember I had done some other things like home theater stuff mostly. And I was like, I can change out a deck in a car, I'm sure. So I popped it out and then like nothing like matched up, nothing lined up. You had to get like mounting kits and all this other stuff. I had no idea. I just thought you just like plug it in like RCA cables or something. It's obviously not the case. Cardinals just had a 60-yard fumble return. Oh, Thanks, John.
Oh
32
God,
in the
my
chat.
Browns were a disaster.
How do they do on defense?
Oh,
I've got a reminder.
I don't even want to.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Just
we're second week into fantasy, and I just want to quit. Argo has
What jersey do you have
182. It's a Giants jersey.
You're a Giants fan.
I mean, I had to pick a team. But yeah,
sure.
Pierre Paul. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a
I
Manning
mean, you
one
could do worse than the
well.
Giants, I guess.
I had Jet stuff for a while.
Feels like something's wrong if you. I guess it's a very American thing to think of. Like if there was somebody who was like, I have no team, I have to pick one.
Yeah.
I think like a New York or a Los Angeles team would be at the very bottom of the options. Like you gotta pick you got to pick like a team, not just the biggest market possible.
That's big. I was very, very infatuated with the city of New York.
I mean, it's better than like the Patriots.
Ago.
Like that would have been worse. But
there's definitely some people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's still just
what's his name?
The New
Bledsoe?
York part of it.
Who's that guy? Quarterback Bledsoe before Tom
Drew
Brady.
Bledsoe?
Yeah.
I love Drew Bledsoe. He was a great player.
That's when a lot of my friends jumped on back then, and then Tom Brady, and they would always say, "I knew since Bledsoe was there."
Of course.
All right. Yeah, sure you were. And one of my buddies is a big Colts fan, and he just went with Manning to Denver. He's like, I'm just gonna cheer for them too. Like, really? That's allowed?
I have zero respect for fans like that.
I know.
I do. My the girl that works with me at work, she's a Hawks fan, like the Atlanta Hawks, and a Braves fan. But she also roots for the Golden State Warriors, and she also roots for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how? How does any of this work?
See, you can't pick a team. When you're in Canada, you have to pick a city. You have to pick a franchise of some sort. It's not your home. It's not a local sports team.
What if they ever brought a Toronto team? Would you root for that team?
I don't think so. I feel like that's the same with baseball.
You don't like the Raptors, right? Like you don't root for the Raptors?
Not really.
Right.
Not really. Yeah. I guess NBA's got that as well. But yeah, I was thinking the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Kind of same idea.
But
it was mostly just, oh man, I gotta get that.
They should bring the Expos back.
The Montreal Expos, yes. Dude, I never stood a chance.
I bought Browns gear yesterday. It makes me, I'm like, of course they would lose in the most Brownsing fashion.
What happened? What do you mean?
Oh, it was it was an epic collapse. They had a 13-point lead with a minute and 58 seconds left to go. Like the game was in the bag. It was over.
Oh man.
And then
they were my defense on fantasy.
They let a guy get behind them and he just scored on an easy throwaway thing. And then they missed the onside kick, and they got the onside kick, and they got 3 shots at the time, and they got one. And then we had a shot to win the game with a field goal. We were around the 50-yard line. We had to move the ball,
that's
10 or 15 yards. No, we have a really good kicker.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, missed an extra point today. So maybe not that good, but I watched him in college, and he's a hell of a kicker. This kid can legit kick it from like 65, 67 yards away. He's got leg for days. He's really good. But he did miss an extra point from 20 yards today, so that didn't help either. We lost by 1. But we had the ball with 30 seconds left and a timeout. We were around the 50. We had to move it maybe 15, 20 yards to get a real good shot at it. Quarterback threw an interception. It was like the most
waiting for it to happen.
Dude, the ESPN analytics, I retweeted it. I'm not sure if you saw it. When the Browns scored, they had a 99.9% chance of winning the game.
That was today. Wait, was that today?
That's today.
I feel like I saw
they lost.
Could have been today. I saw
by 0.01. It was a 0.01 chance that they would lose, and they did. They lost by the 0.01% chance.
The one reason that they don't ever go to 100% chance.
And the thing is, I say this all the time to my other Browns friends. We have a very good team. We have a lot of talented players.
Yeah.
And I try to remind them all the time that there's just so much more to football than that. It's not about collecting talent as everybody thinks it is. Everybody thinks you lose because your players are bad. There are bad teams that win games all the time. That's not it. You can never take for granted winning a game in the NFL against anybody. The team could be winless, and they could still put up a fight. You can never take it for granted. You always have to play hard. And I guess the part of me that doesn't hurt me too much is that they were competitive. It was a very close game. I've seen Browns teams that have lost by 40, 10 weeks in a row. So at least it's not that.
Oh, to the Jets. Oh man, that
the
hurts.
thing that will hurt though is if they do find a way, because you don't know. I mean, you don't follow like you play fantasy. How much do you follow the NFL?
Not as much as I should to stand a chance with fantasy.
Okay, so you know the Browns have Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
And you know all the disaster and trouble that's been worth, right?
No.
Okay, so he got accused of doing all kinds of sexual misconduct acts. Yeah. And he's suspended for 10 games.
Yeah.
So the Browns are trying to weather the storm. If they can like go 500 for 10 games, they got a chance.
Crazy.
Because if he comes back and he is as good as he has been in the past, the Browns will be really good.
Yeah.
And people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. If he comes
people
back,
don't want to. That's wild.
If he comes back and he's really good, the Browns will be a real problem for a lot of people because they are good. They are a very good team. So they're trying to weather the storm, and it's going to suck if the Browns miss the playoffs by one game, knowing that this was how they lost that game.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to be that good anyway because Jacoby Brissett is just not very good. So I just don't expect them. There are Browns fans out there with delusions of playoffs and Super Bowls. And it's like, how about as I've said to most of my Browns fans for a few years now, I'm like, how about we win? How about we go 8-8 like twice? How about we just go 500 2 years in a row?
Yeah, but those make days like today still tough no matter what.
Oh, for sure.
If you have a chance, like the
last 10 years, the Browns have been lucky to win 4 games in a season.
Yeah.
Like the Browns have went 0-17 or 0-16, then with 2-13 and 4-10. It's just like, how about we just focus on let's try to go 500, see what happens.
Who's in their division with the Browns?
That's the problem, is the division is loaded, and it always has. That's always been the problem. The Bengals, the Steelers, and the Ravens.
Oh Jesus,
it's a murderer's row. I mean, that division. I mean, I think every fan thinks their division is the hardest division in football, but I strongly would contend that the Browns play in the toughest division in football.
That's pretty tough. Yeah,
there are no easy weeks, even against the Browns.
Yeah,
I think most people think the Browns are the easy week, and they're not like easy. They're pretty tough most years.
Well, speaking of the Jets, I feel like the AFC East is just like completely turned upside down now. Like this, like the Patriots are just going to be garbage. And I think they lost to the Dolphins last week. It's like, what is happening?
The Dolphins had an incredible game against the Ravens.
That's awesome.
That game. Even the Ravens got out to a huge lead. It was like 30-7 or 28-7 or something like that. And people are writing them off. And I was watching that game because it was on locally. Yeah. And I was like, but the Dolphins are playing with them every snap. Like this game is way more competitive right now.
That's awesome.
Than the scoreboard looks. Like they are right here with this team.
That's so fun to watch. That's like, this could be the year, and we're 2 weeks in. I might have to get myself a little Sunday package. I think my Sundays are starting to get to the point where I might even be able to sneak in. I don't know. Maybe just watch, Red Zone?
That's what I do. I can't
watch that.
I can't in good conscience pay DirecTV with the amount of money they ask to watch.
I know it's a lot of money. I say that, and then I look at the price tag.
They need a streaming package. Like the NFL's needed a streaming package forever, and they're slowly getting there. And I'm hoping when this DirecTV deal ends, that somebody will come forth and allow us to have a league pass.
I feel like we might have something here. We don't have DirecTV.
No, you're out of the US, so you can just subscribe to the NFL pass. You can watch.
That's
everything.
What it is.
In America, it is locked to just DirecTV.
That's brutal. You have no other option
not to watch it live. You can watch replays, but not to watch it live. And I don't want to. Nobody wants to watch replays.
I thought this was America,
right?
Hey,
and the rest of the world can subscribe a la carte to the NFL, except for in America.
How much is that?
It is locked to DirecTV.
Sunday ticket. Brian Eck, Bears versus Packers tonight. Let's go, the Bears.
Yeah.
Everybody hates the Packers, man. Everybody hates Aaron Rodgers. Nobody likes this guy.
That's true.
Where do I want to find out how much this is here in Canada. John 32, you still here? How much do I pay for this thing? Because for the last 5 years, like basically since Lincoln's been born, it's like that's not really an option. But I could start to see that might be a thing. Although first it's the beginning of the year, so my tension's there. It might get it wanes around Christmas, and then before you know it, it's over.
I mean, John, I subscribe to Hulu Live TV. So, I mean, that counts as a cable bill. Like I have a cable package and I have Red Zone, but DirecTV is like its whole other thing. You gotta get DirecTV, and then you got to get the Sunday ticket, which is extra on top. And it's just very expensive. And I don't know if they're still doing it now because I haven't looked into it for a long time, but DirecTV would lock you in annually. Like you had to sign up annually. So it was like, it wasn't even something you could even like. So I subscribed to Hulu for like 3 months for sports.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, you have to just pay by the year.
That's what this is. It's $250 a season is what I'm just seeing here. I'm like, and every time I see it, I've done this before.
To be honest with you, I would gladly pay $250 if I could just watch the Browns live.
Yeah.
I would be happy to.
Well, the funny thing is about actually liking the Giants, like they're always on TV. Like that's the thing.
It makes sense. Yeah. I mean, it's
kind of helpful.
Not a terrible option.
Most people here cheer for Seattle.
I would have liked to have seen you pick like more of a fandom instead of New York is just such an easy.
I know.
You know, like you could have been Buffalo. You know, like you could have been Minnesota.
A friend of mine, my dad loves Minnesota. My dad loves the Vikings. With,
I don't want to say not real fan bases, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you go through the hardships. You go through
teams with roots that you could have adopted instead.
Would the Jets be better in your mind? Just because
I would respect you more if you picked the Jets.
Well, think about this. I dropped the Jets. I had jerseys. I had shirts. I actually have a sweater just over in the closet here from my first time I went to a Jets game. I've been to I've been to New York a ton of times, and both times I was there, or both times I went to a game, the Jets were playing. So those were the jerseys I had, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like it's fun. Like it's fun to do the JETS Jets. Like it's actually hilarious, but it's so simple. Like first time I heard, like this is like a bunch of 6-year-olds came up. I'm so sorry to anybody who cheers for the Jets. It's so harsh. But I was back then it was Giant Stadium, and I'm like, you guys know that like a better team plays here, right? Like just pick that. Just pick the Jets.
Yeah.
Or just pick the Giants. I mean, like I don't know.
No.
But it was mainly because I had been to like New York. Of all the cities in the US, I've been to New York a ton of times.
Sure.
So it was going to be one of the two, and I ended up.
Yeah, it's just like if you apply it to a different sport. If you're like, I'm a Yankees fan, it's like, of course you are.
I get it. Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm a Knicks fan. It's like, I don't know why anybody is, but of course you are. You know, it just got big like Homer. It's just because they're the big city. There's a bajillion of those fans. They're all like that. You know, it's like, you know, it's just you could have picked a more hometown team.
Well, now I gotta. Okay, well, I mean,
no, you're already in. Don't change now. You're already in.
That's that third time's a charm, man.
No, I'll lose respect for you for changing.
I've already changed. I was a Jets fan. I was following the Jets. It was in the Mark Sanchez days. I haven't had a Sanchez jersey.
Like, Donnie, if you hate it so much, just stop rooting for the Browns. It's like you have no idea where I'm from.
That's different. You
can't say that.
But that's where you're from.
Like
it's
the
different.
Team is the team. It just is. You can't change it.
See, I'm trying to learn this NFL sport of yours. You know, always welcome here, Chicago, Sean. I love the Blackhawks.
Pick the Bears.
I can't. I don't like the. No.
What? What is it? What do you hate about the Bears?
I don't know. I can't even describe it. I don't know. It's just maybe it's the Bears thing. Maybe I just don't like. That's just that is more like pop culture-ish than anything in my mind with the Giants. It's like, the Bears. Oh yeah,
Eli Manning.
I mean, two Super Bowl rings. Like that's fine.
Sure.
And they've sucked for a long time, so I feel like this kind of like earning whatever you're after.
You're getting on the ground floor. I can see that.
Yeah. And it's not like now. I didn't just pick them like this year.
Sure.
Like when did St. Pierre when did any of these guys play? Pierre Paul.
Yeah.
GSP. I'm still Canadian at heart, man. George St. Pierre plays football now. Didn't you know it? I can't pick I do like the Blackhawks though for hockey. You have to have a backup team when you're in Edmonton because the Oilers suck. So you got to cheer for somebody else.
I adopted a new team. So when I was in the 90s, the Browns were ripped away from Cleveland. They are the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. The Baltimore Ravens were the Browns, if you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I got rid of the Houston Oilers. They went to Baltimore. The Cleveland Browns moved to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
The city of Cleveland sued the owner, Art Modell, saying that you can take your franchise, but you can't take the Browns. And it was the first time in history anybody tried to do this.
Yeah.
They sued, stating, you own the NFL franchise, but you do not own the Cleveland Browns.
That's crazy.
They can't become the Baltimore Browns. We own the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawsuit was dropped on the condition that the NFL bring the team, an expansion team to Cleveland, that football would come back. But in the period that they left, I was a Minnesota Vikings fan.
Mm.
And I thought I was going to be a Vikings fan because color purple is my favorite color, and the Vikings were very good. And I just thought
That was my high school colors.
It was an
the
easy
Vikings
team
colors.
to pick. I liked the uniforms and I liked the helmet. I hated the Steelers.
I hated that helmet.
A lot of Cleveland fans hated the Steelers, so like I couldn't do that. You can't root for, and I hated the Bengals. They're a rival. I can't root for them either.
Yeah, no,
It would have been easy to be Cincinnati. I hate Cincinnati.
I never would have picked them. Yeah,
the Cleveland fans think Cincinnati fans that's the Kentucky team. Like they're not even Ohio. They don't even count. So,
see, part of it is when I was getting into NFL originally, a bunch of my friends have already been watching for like their entire life, so they already had teams. Like I've got a friend who's the Steelers fan. I've got a friend who's the Patriots fan. I've got like all these teams are like kind of snatched up already. So I think that was maybe part of it. I didn't want to double down on that. But a couple of us were kind of getting into it at about the same time. And one of my friends is just kind of that type of guy who's like, yeah, I'll pick Detroit because like I will pick the worst team in the league, just going with the Lions. So,
I mean, I do in college football. I'm a Buckeye, and I grew up, born and bred a Buckeye. I grew up with Buckeye gear, so I'm an Ohio State fan.
Yeah,
but I root for other teams. I am a Nebraska fan. I'm an Oregon fan. There's just a lot more teams in college football, so I typically would try to root for a team in a different conference. So I picked Nebraska. Nebraska was great when I was little, and I always liked Nebraska fans. I feel like Ohio State and Nebraska fans have like a common bond.
I sense
similar.
that.
Yeah, so I always liked rooting for them, and then I liked Oregon. They're flashy and wild, and I love their old school duck logo.
That's my dad's college.
I dated a girl that was an Oregon cheerleader for a little while. So I always like rooted for those three teams. The crazy thing about that, dude, is the Big Ten might end up with all three of those teams. The Big Ten adopted Nebraska a couple years ago, if you didn't know that. They brought them on in like 2011. And there were rumors circulating that they're going to bring in Oregon. Well, I do. I love college football.
Okay, so you already said the Bears. I'm not going with the Bears. And I just want to play a game just for a second.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do a playoff.
Pick a team.
Sean's team.
Pick a team. I'm not going to say I just want to know like what, and I'm curious like what logic you wrap around this.
But let me tell you, all right, let's see here. First,
I'll give you just like my first out of like Washington is vetoed.
You got to tell me this. First things first. Who are your friends' teams? You said you didn't want to pick the teams they have. So let's start there. Rule off the teams that your friends are friends of.
Okay, Minnesota is my dad.
Okay, Minnesota's out.
Philadelphia is my friend Mike, Zach,
and Rebecca. Can't do that either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
LA would be open. Nobody would like San
Diego.
That's
worse than New York.
So I'm just saying who's open. Who's
no. I'm just saying who's open. Tell me who's not open. Many in Philadelphia.
Baltimore is out.
Of course.
Cleveland is you.
I mean, I wouldn't subject you to that kind of torture.
Detroit is out. Washington, I'm personally vetoing because
nobody's a Commander. What a joke.
Indy is my buddy who actually there's a couple guys who like Indy, but that was the one
getting close to ruling out everybody at this point.
That's what I'm saying. This is how I ended up with the Giants.
And you said no Chicago.
No, that's my personal veto. I don't think I know anybody who's New Orleans is out. New England is out. Pittsburgh's out. One of my favorite games watching ever though was watching the Steelers win with just that ridiculous. I can't remember who did it. Everybody hates the Steelers, and I get it.
I hate the Steelers so much.
Everybody hates the Steelers, but watching that game was super fun.
All right.
Seattle's out and San Francisco's out.
Seattle
and Cincinnati and Dallas.
And the team that I want to throw up first.
Okay.
There are two teams that come immediately to mind. The problem is that one of them is really good right now, and you're probably going to be like, oh, I can't like them now because they're good. But I disagree with it. But obviously, the first thing I would say is, why not the Bills?
I don't. I hate the logo.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I
don't like the logo. I like the colors though. I like blue and red.
Cardinals.
That logo. Cardinals could be. I mean, oddly enough, that's where everybody goes down to. They go to Arizona to watch a football game.
Glendale, man.
I can see it. Larry Fitzgerald. That's the only one I can name from there.
You ruled out the entire NFC North.
I know.
They're like all
this
the
is
teams
what I'm,
that are
this
close
is what
to
I'm
you
dealing with. No. Bills are a good choice. Cold weather suits you. I got enough. I avoided the Denver Broncos for the longest time because of The Simpsons, where where Homer comes to own the Denver Broncos. The
Oh,
Denver Broncos.
It's a weird way of putting it. All right, so
I know, but
you've got the Cardinals, the Titans, the Jaguars, or the Raiders.
Jags. No, the Raiders. No. Yeah.
Why not the Raiders? I would love to be a Raiders fan.
I mean, now that they're in Vegas, I feel like I don't know.
I don't care if they were Oakland. I would love to be a Raiders fan.
Oakland Raiders. We had a lacrosse team that like basically copied their entire brand. The
Texans are a great choice for like a new fan. They're an expansion team. They haven't been around as long. Like that's an easy fan to buy into. They're building it from the ground up. They're doing it the right way. Now you'd be getting them on the ground floor of the Houston Texans. Great color scheme.
Yeah.
I've been in that stadium. Great stadium. Super
Texas
fun.
Texas is a little too close. Actually, it's very on the nose. You don't even realize it. Texas and Alberta, where I live, is like basically the same place.
Okay.
Very, very conservative. We're all sitting on like
vibes.
just a bunch of oil. Yeah, it might. Yeah, I don't know.
I like the Texans, the Cardinals, or the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to run through. Let me see here.
What about
Green Bay? Green Bay is our Canadian.
Why not the Dolphins? That's a great team to get in. You know why? Because it's Florida. Everybody's different. Nobody is like barely anybody is ever from Florida. So all of their fans are fair weather fans, Johnny come latelys.
Yeah.
Like it's a great transitional fan. Like you could be the Dolphins.
I love Ace Ventura.
Incredible uniforms. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The Dolphins.
You like those?
The Dolphins have some of the best kit in the world.
Actually, that is a huge reason for the Giants. To your question earlier.
Uniforms are boring as hell.
I just like the color blue. That's it. Like if I'm going to design so I just like that's it.
Blue.
Not like this blue. I like this blue. Like it's Colts blue.
Then be a Titans fan.
I don't know why that just doesn't ring true to me. You know, I don't know exactly how else to describe it.
The Houston Texans have the same blue.
I'm like scrolling through a list here. I don't know, man. Buddy of mine jumped on New Orleans just as Drew Brees.
I would love to be honestly a Raiders fan. I do feel like how the Buckeyes and the Nebraska share a similar bond. I feel the same way between Browns and Raiders fans. Like this is a very similar type of fandom.
Oh man. Oh, they lost today too.
I wouldn't even offer the Falcons. But you know what? For all the things that I just said about Miami, dude, there are very few.
You wouldn't offer Atlanta? Why not?
Fair weather towns like Atlanta. Like there are so many. Like nobody cares about any Atlanta team unless they're good. And then everybody's
Falcons. I would take.
Then everybody's been a fan for 30 years. They're like, I would take Atlanta. Sure, you could be a Falcons fan. I don't like the Falcons, but again, because I don't respect their fan base. See, here's the thing. I guess the thing I was trying to say, like with Oakland, the thing about the Cleveland Browns is the best thing about the Cleveland Browns is the fans.
Yeah,
the fans keep that franchise alive. Like we are the lifeblood for that team.
Yeah,
and I feel the same way with you feel that with Chicago fans and Raiders fans and Chief fans and Bills fans. Those are great fan bases to be a part of because they're gonna be there win and lose. They're gonna love their team no matter what. You cannot say the same thing about Atlanta and Miami fans. They're just not. It's just not. It's just way different. Having seen both, it's just not the same. I'm sure that there are Falcons fans like that. I've met a couple, but the fan base is not like that.
Do you? I don't know if this
Arizona is though.
Yeah. I'm looking at sorry, go ahead.
I would want to get you into a really fun communal fan base.
I'm like, I feel like I'm trying to pick a video game. We need to put this in the bracket. That's the approach.
Put it in the randomizer. Let's do it.
Put it in the bracket. Oh, you want to?
Why not?
Okay, we need. Yeah, I mean, what the heck?
Let's do it.
Okay. Are you going
to publicly commit to adopting whatever the results of the bracket bear out? Because if not, then it's a waste of an exercise.
I don't think it's a waste. I think it's super fun.
It's a waste of an exercise.
Regardless. So what do you mean by commit? Like
this is the team
buying a jersey. Like, what does that even mean? Like,
this is your team.
Oh man, I'm gonna live or die. Because that's the one thing I will say. I definitely don't live or die by the Giants.
See, Brian agrees with me.
It'd be like picking Alabama in college over Notre
for a few
Dame.
weeks. Yep. It would be the same. You're like, I'm a Notre Dame fan. It's like, of course you are. You know, like that's the thing. You can't like the team that everybody likes.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I totally get that.
You could jump in on the Buccaneers.
I can't stand the Pirates theme, dude.
Okay, never mind.
Tampa me out, not even a little bit.
They're out.
And they're in for a tough year. Not that has anything to. I don't know. I don't like the Buccaneers. I think about that. Brady. Yeah, we'll see how he does. Maybe he should have stayed retired. It's just like when I think of the NFC versus AFC, like I look at NFC and just I don't know if this is the way that it is. I just see flashy. I feel like AFC is like the grittier version of NFC. And maybe it's just in New York. Maybe that's all it is.
I think the AFC teams, I mean, the Giants are in the NFC.
That's what I'm saying. Like NFC is like flashy. Like the Giants are like flashy. Jets are gritty. It's like
the Giants are not flashy. They've never been such.
You don't think so? It's like it's a fancier version of New York, and the Jets are kind of like the working class.
And their success comes from the Giants' history and legacy is on defense.
I'm not talking. I just mean like the brand, I guess, more than anything, and maybe the fan base. But like you don't have like a Fireman Eddie at a Jets game or a Giants game.
Okay,
it's upper class. It seems. I don't know. Maybe just uppity. Okay, so
yeah, I don't get that impression. I would get that impression from like the Rams, maybe. But not
like
the Giants,
like the St. Louis
Cowboys for sure.
Cowboys, yeah. Well, that's the whole division.
Cowboys for sure. It's not the whole division. The Eagles are not that way.
You don't think so?
No, God no.
I guess it's just they're always on.
Eagles are a lunch pail team. You got to come play hard.
A lunch pail team. What does that mean?
You're gonna play Philadelphia. You better come to play. Their fans are not like that at all. It's like the opposite of that. Everything you just described is not the Philly.
It's just the glitz of being on Sunday night or Monday night.
The Rams. That's that team. Maybe the Giants, but I don't necessarily think so.
I guess it's just by association, just because they're there.
I definitely wouldn't. Honestly, for every team in that division that's ever had success, not the Cowboys, it has always been about defense. The Eagles, Washington, and the Giants. Hard, tough as hell, that type of team.
I just need a full list. Okay, here it is in alphabetical order. Here they are. Arizona. Okay, this is exactly what I need. You may say this might be a waste, but I just want to see what happens, Donnie.
I want the commitment.
I don't even know.
I want the commitment. Let's go hard.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna log into and maybe can I even share my screen on the stream here so we can just see that we're looking at the exact same thing. Create a tournament. Share.
You have to put it in the thing, and then I can add it to the screen.
Let's see. Okay, we will. Can you? Okay, I think I'm sharing, and hopefully, okay, yeah, you're good. See, I'm even on PSVG. I was listening to Wet Sand earlier with Lincoln. Got all the tabs here. Okay, so Sean's new NFL team. I don't think I need to fill in any of this stuff. Enter a game. What the heck is that? Let's just see how far down I can go and just hit okay. Save and continue. What are you going to stop me at? Where do you think I end up? Like, and is this is my decision, or how are we going to do this?
I'll make cases, but yeah, it's got to be your decision. I can't pick the team for you, then you'll never like it. Enter
a game. I don't know. Chess, sure. Required today. Good. Save and continue. Saving.
I don't know what wizardry you're doing.
So I don't even know how he stumbled on this, but it's called challenge.com. And like, if you wanted to set up like your own challenge, it's like challenge.
Why are you talking like Chris Jericho?
That's what Bobby used to say. I talk like Chris Jericho when I said again. Okay, so here are all the teams. Oh, it even said Redskins. How up to date is this? Oakland Raiders. This might not.
It's fine. We get it.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. Bulk ad. It's gonna hopefully put.
Although the Washington football team was better than the Commanders. The Commanders is so bad.
Agreed. Standings or bracket. Let's go to the bracket. 32 players.
I'm interested to see how the teams get grouped. I think is the fun part here.
Okay, I want to zoom out just a little bit. Is that okay for you to see still here?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Look, I think we've got the whole bracket is visible.
So
here.
what I would suggest is go through the first round and make your easy picks, because you already have some that you're like, no. So go through the first round and just do it.
Okay, I think I do. Oh, I need to start the tournament. That's what I need to do. Hit this button. Okay, so
like live
I can go
Tech Mobile here.
just like the most paper version.
That's what we should do. Is we should have just created a Tech Mobile tournament for the owner.
just
simulate it and run it, and like we'll see who wins.
Okay, so
or how about this? You know, it'd be really fun. You should do that for the final, and then put it up to the gods. Whoever the final two are, you put them in a Tech Mobile computer versus computer match.
I could be down for that.
Just let it happen.
I've done that before. That's how I ended up playing.
Then you don't have the responsibility of having said, I chose it. It was chosen for you. It was fate.
See, I already need help. Chiefs or Chargers? You got to go Chiefs, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, submit the scores. The next one is Browns or Raiders. People might
say that's Johnny come lately, but it's not. The Chiefs have been bad for a long time.
Agreed.
What is happening?
Website is freezing up a little bit here. There it goes. Okay. Browns or Raiders? We got to go Raiders.
Great 1-2. I mean, you could root for the Browns, and we could root for the Browns together, but I would never subject anybody else to rooting for the Browns.
Okay.
It would be really hard to root for the Browns if you're not from Cleveland, because it's just misery. Just misery and sadness.
Cowboys or Jets? The Jets are taking that one easily.
Yeah, I agree.
Buffalo Bills or Seahawks? I'm going to go with the Bills.
You said you hated the Bills logo, so I would say go with the Seahawks.
No, I can't say. Dude, Seattle, my distaste for Seattle is greater.
Okay.
Because everybody here...
I hate that they pitted these two against each other, but you have an easy out because you said no to the Vikings.
Vikings are my dad's team.
Right, so Texans move. Yeah. Texans are still in it.
As Texans versus the Bills in the next round, but we'll come back to that.
Texans are moving on even further.
Oh, this is a tough one for me. Panthers and 49ers.
Root for the Panthers. They have a great scheme.
Yeah, I could go. Sorry, Jace. I'm not going.
Oh, no, this is the hard one. Look at this terrible matchup.
Packers versus the Patriots. You got to go Packers.
Matter. Whoever's losing the next round anyway.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. That means Panther. Yeah. Falcons versus the Tennessee Titans.
I'm Team Titan, but you like the Falcons, so put them
I could go Tennessee though.
Titans are great.
This is a tough one.
Good fan base.
This is actually a tough one.
Titans have a much better fan base than Falcons.
I don't know. And this might just be my go for the, I don't know what this means.
The Falcons are more of a city, the Tennessee's kind of like, So that seems to matter to you. So go with the Falcons.
I guess so. Go Coca-Cola.
Falcons have cool uniforms, especially when they do the red helmets.
That I do like the uniforms. Oh, look at this. Jags versus the LA Rams.
Here's the thing, Sean. You should pick Jacksonville. That should be your team. That's like the world's NFL team, or the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do they play in London and in Tokyo? Dude, shit? They're they're the team.
Can I tell you something? I don't even know where Jacksonville is.
It's in Florida, and nobody from Jacksonville is a fan of football at all.
Isn't there another Jacksonville?
No.
There's not two Jacksonvilles?
Oh, I'm sure there's 80 Jacksonvilles.
I feel like there's another one in like Georgia or something.
No, it's Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
You should be a Jacksonville fan. To be honest.
There's no...
That's the easiest way to pick.
Says no.
Yeah, great uniforms.
Bengals versus the Eagles. This is... I mean, neither of these are going for it. So
I hate the Bengals.
I don't like the Eagles either. I liked... who is it? What was the coach's name? Reed. What was his name?
Yeah, Andy Reid. He coaches
Andy Reid. Yeah, I like him, but that's too bad he's not there anymore. He looks like a guy who is on like the coach on the opposing coach on Any Given Sunday. Remember when Al Pacino's like looking across the field? Like I picture Andy Reid on that side.
Sure. What a movie.
Oh my gosh. That was the movie. Remember I told the story before where I got scared by my friend's dad? We were coming home from watching. We're coming home from watching Any Given Sunday.
Nice.
We took the bus home, so it took us forever. Denver Broncos and Giants. So I guess Giants are automatically out because I gotta.
No,
I can see the Broncos.
Okay, all right.
I could see the Broncos going pretty far, and I don't know if is that even allowed. Is that breaking some sort of rule?
No, I'll allow it. The Broncos are fine.
I don't like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so the Ravens are going through on this one.
I hate the Ravens with deep passion.
Colts and
Let's
Dolphins.
go Dolphins, baby.
Yeah, I can't go Colts. Colts would be good at this time. Like,
I don't know what you hate got against the Dolphins. They're amazing.
It's probably just Ace Ventura.
Why would you rule somebody out because of a movie?
Snowflake. I don't know. It's not Snowflake. Bears and the Steelers. The Bears have to win this one. They're yeah. One of my good friends, Gary, likes the Steelers. Saints versus the Lions. You're going
Saints on uniform.
My old roommate.
Alone.
Yeah, the uniform's pretty good.
And you know who's not?
The Detroit Lions.
They're the worst uniform in the league.
But guess what? I'm going Detroit.
That's a joke.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Right.
New Orleans. Okay, next round.
Now let's talk.
Okay.
First Arizona Cardinals. I have a rooting case for both of these. Here's the thing. I want to pick the Cardinals because I think the Cardinals can win this thing. And for some odd reason, you just don't seem to want to adopt the Chiefs at all. So send the Cardinals forward.
They definitely, my heart is leaning towards Arizona. Maybe I'll live there one day.
Vegas Raiders
versus the Jets. Yeah, that'll do it. Jets. Sorry, Jets. Can't go back. I can't go back.
I can't pick a team because I'm from Cleveland. But if I could pick a team, the Raiders would be at the very near top of my list. If I could go back in time and start it all over, I would love to be a Raiders fan. I don't understand why you're not clamoring to be a Raiders fan.
Is it because of, like, the history? Like, I'd look at it like it's a Vegas team more than anything. And I can't wrap my head around sports teams being based in Vegas.
Why?
I don't know.
I love Vegas.
I love Vegas. It's fine.
Here's the thing. Vegas is a great town to wrap around. You know why? Because nobody's from fucking Vegas. Everybody goes to visit
from Vegas.
Right, but everybody goes to visit Vegas. So if somebody's like, what team do you root for? And you're like, I like the Vegas Raiders. You're not going to get caught on and be like, oh, are you from Vegas? Because nobody's ever going to ask that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's the Golden Knights.
Awesome. And here, like, if I was a Raiders fan, it would just give me another reason to go to Vegas.
We couldn't be coming at this from like more different angles. It's so funny. I don't even know what my angle is.
Yeah,
that makes it hard.
You told me that you hated a team's logo, that you like a team's color blue, but you hate certain cities. And I'm trying to give you arguments in all three of those categories.
This
and
must be so frustrating for people.
You're like, I don't understand why you're thinking that. It's like, because you said that. You said the logo and the color.
This is a microcosm of my brain. This process, like this, like what is happening, that's getting inside
talking to
a
woman here. The thing is, if it were me, the most important thing that I would be looking for, again, is the communal fan experience. Like, you want to be a part of something. You want to be a part of nothing. See, that's the thing that hurts the Jaguars. The Jaguars have a nothing fan base. They have a fan base, but it's nothing. None of it matters because they've played in England and nobody in Jacksonville cares. Like, I would rule them out just because of that.
I think I'm
complete opposite for the Raiders. You talk about one of the more storied fan bases in the entire league. This is John Madden's team. Are you kidding me? I would love to wear the silver and black.
We had a lacrosse. Did I say this? Look, we had a lacrosse team here that completely lifted the Raiders brand. They looked like the Raiders.
1,000 high schools do that because it's one of the
best. like the professional lacrosse team, like the NLC, whatever.
Professional.
NLL.
No, that's something else.
Yeah, no, it's. And I just thought that was so lame. That
what's lame? That there was a professional lacrosse team.
What are you talking about? Lacrosse is awesome. Lacrosse is
awesome, the lame part.
I mean, those guys don't make any money. I just want I don't know.
But
uniforms have a lot to do with it.
I've made my case for the Raiders. I don't feel like you're digging the Raiders, but I do feel like you are digging the Cardinals. So
a little bit. Buffalo Bills, Houston Texans.
You said you hated the logo. You can't root for somebody you hate.
I'm going Houston Texans. They're gonna win on that one, but we'll see how this
Buffalo
goes.
Fans. Logo's awesome.
Carolina Panthers, I could see it.
Panthers for sure.
I could see it, man. And so they just took out the Green Bay Packers, and I think it's just
I'm surprised they made it here.
Well, who would they beat? The Patriots. That's why
they're paired up against. Matchup is two fair weather fan bases.
Falcons and Jaguars. It's Atlanta.
With the world team versus the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm not even thinking about it. Atlanta Falcons.
So hang on before you hit submit. Sean buys Atlanta Falcons jersey. and he shows up at the sports bar, much more wings and pizza or something.
Yep.
Buffalo flavored chicken.
Much more wings and pizza.
Buffalo flavored chicken.
Yep.
Sports bar. In his Falcons jersey. And somebody asks him, "Hey, why are you a Falcons fan?"
Yeah.
What is your answer?
I like the jersey.
That's your answer.
Yep. I used to know Matt Ryan. Yep.
Send him forward.
That's it. Yep.
Sorry,
but what am I going to say about any of these things? What
Jacksonville? They play all over the world.
Who cares? Jaguars. Wow. I guess I'm about to pick the Panthers. Like it's going to be a cat of some sort. It seems like a cat, or it's going to be a cat or a bird of prey.
All right, send the Falcons forward.
All right, there they go. Sorry,
I do love the Falcons.
Sorry, Jacksonville.
They do red helmets with black jerseys.
Red and black is slick, man. That's very nice. Philadelphia Eagles and the Denver Broncos is not even. What? Wait, what?
The Broncos.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like Cleveland, I don't think you can adopt the Eagles. You can't be an Eagles fan unless you're from Philadelphia.
See, Denver Broncos have the advantage of at least being in Mountain Time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking of that too.
You know, like
I'm thinking of West Coast teams. It was a big part of the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of eliminating a lot of Southern teams and like East Coast teams in my head, like for you.
That's funny. Yeah, location. Ravens and Dolphins. I see, and they'll get wiped out. I can't
like
myself.
A team from Baltimore. You'll never ever go to Baltimore.
It's the second. I've been to Baltimore.
Actually, go to Miami.
I've been to Baltimore.
Why? Why would anybody?
I mean, I'm passing through, but I was passing through. That's why.
hopefully quickly.
Yeah, a little bit. Chicago Bears and Detroit Lions.
The Bears.
We'll give it to the Bears at least at this point. Yeah,
I think
it's funny because like you get to this point in the brackets. This happens with the games too, and you're like, you kind of see where this is going.
Oh, I don't.
I think I do.
I've made the best case I can make for the Raiders, but you're not having it. So
on to the next round. Forward. The Cardinals are going forward. Sorry.
Cardinals might win this thing, guys.
But Baltimore is one of America's greatest cities, says Ryan Turford. Said Ryan Turford. He's like, wait.
I like the Panthers here.
Carolina Panthers.
The Panthers are all flash.
And I don't like that you said that.
I don't think you can root for a team from Texas.
I don't think I can
Panthers
either.
Get the win.
Carolina Panthers.
Send them forward.
They're the one. Are they the only Cats so far? Yep, that's the only Cats. Falcons versus the Broncos. This is where it comes down. These are the teams that I've kind of been thinking.
Broncos
Atlanta
have
Falcons
a real fan base. That's a franchise that really matters. And here's the thing: they just got sold, so they're coming under new ownership. They've got Russell Wilson, so you've got a good platform to get here. They've got great unis, both new and old.
They are nice.
New school and old school.
These are the colors of our hockey team here in Edmonton. That would be another reason.
Great legacy. Blue. You like
blue and orange? Yeah. I mean, you see this all the time in Splatoon.
Broncos take out the Falcons.
Yeah, right? Broncos take out the Falcons. That feels better. Does that feel good? Does that feel good to you? The Falcons are gone.
Feels like a win for me.
What are we going to put up against the Broncos? The Dolphins or the Bears?
You can't like the Chicago. Yeah, it doesn't sound like that's a thing.
That's not.
So the Dolphins move forward by.
Yeah, look at this. Okay, semifinals.
Here's the thing.
Who is listening anymore?
Here's the thing. I'm not going to lie to you. We've got 4 teams left. You've got 2 games.
Yeah.
You've got the Cardinals versus the Panthers, and you have the Broncos versus the Dolphins. And here's the thing. If you mix match these games, I could see the Cardinals and the Panthers both advancing. Like if you would split these up against the other 2, I would be interested in both. So I think
I almost want to do it again, reshuffle.
What are you doing? My wife is here to show a kitten. You're about to see Pumpkin enter the screen out of frame. Not even close. Hi, my wife's giant wrist. Good job. That wasn't even close. Yes, she wants to show the kitten.
I did not see an animal.
Pumpkin, hello to the world.
Oh my gosh, that
we'll
is
do
a
the little
cat.
Kirby thing here.
That is a tiny little. Look at it, on your shoulder. It's like you're like a parrot, but with cats.
Okay, so here, I'm gonna make my case.
Cardinals versus the Panthers.
Hang on, go back.
You want to? Okay, we're breaking it down.
I'm thinking big picture here. I'm not.
Okay.
You're focusing on. I'm thinking big picture.
Yeah. I
think there are 2 teams legitimately winning this, and I feel like it's the Cardinals or the Broncos. Something, I don't know why, but something is stopping you from wanting to adopt the Miami Dolphins. So in my mind, they're out.
Yeah, I think so too.
There are 3. Like if I had to rank these teams, if I had to rank them 1 through 4, the Dolphins are last. So they're out.
Agreed.
So the interesting thing is the pairing, because I could see you liking the Cardinals or the Panthers, but I could also see you liking the Broncos. So the Broncos have an easier path here. So I will let you pick between the Cardinals and the Panthers, but I think we both know that the Broncos
I think you'll be
are
surprised on this one. I'm going Panthers over.
I'm not surprised.
Over the Cardinals.
Panthers?
So I don't think the Cardinals were as close as you think.
Okay.
Denver
Broncos.
So the final is the Panthers versus the Denver Broncos, and I don't have anything that even matches everything going for the Broncos at this point. Colors are the Oilers colors, the Edmonton Oilers colors. It's Mountain Time.
The fun part here, the case that I'll make here, I'll make a couple of cases, and then again,
for the Panthers,
I will not pick this matchup for you. I'll make a case for both, but I'll just lay it out here. There is an opportunity here to buy in on the ground floor with the Carolina Panthers. That's not what you can say about the Broncos. The Broncos have Russell Wilson. They're trying to make the playoffs. You know, like they're established. You would be a fair weather fan. I mean, you already are by definition. You already are by definition. You are literally wearing a Giants jersey while picking another team. So you got to like, if you're okay with that, and you can sleep well at night.
I'm not 100% okay with it, to be honest.
But if you are okay with that and you can sleep well at night, the obvious pick here is the Broncos.
Yeah.
But if you truly want to adopt a team that you can call your own, the pick here is easy. They have incredible logos and jerseys. They are a great team. They've got Baker Mayfield for 15 games and his ass is gone. And they're going to draft a brand new team, a brand new quarterback. They're not going to be very good. They might have CJ Stroud. Like they might be amazing just a year or two from now. They play hard. They got Christian McCaffrey. They play in a good division where you can hate the Saints and you can hate the Buccaneers and you can hate the Falcons. That's a really good pick. I like the Panthers. There are a lot of teams. The Panthers are, both of these are respectable. Don't get me wrong. Like they've made it this far. Both are respectable. But this exercise started from a seed where you were like, I picked the Giants. That's a terrible pick. If you had started this call and you had showed up to me in a Panthers jersey, much respect. Much respect. I'd be like, dude, I can get that. Hell yeah. I don't hate the Panthers. So I dig it. That's a case I'm making for both, though. The Broncos are great as well. They got that blue you like.
Look at this. Look at this first picture that shows up when I search for the Panthers.
That's the coach that's about to get fired.
Oh my gosh.
Again, a true fan, you'd be getting on the ground floor. They're about to start everything over.
See, yeah. It's so tough. It is very tough because even switching anyways,
you got both teams with the blue.
I don't mind the logo. I feel like I'm convincing myself though. Like I don't feel like I'm stoked to jump into Pantherland.
Then go Broncos. Like I said, the easy pick here is to go Broncos. And the Broncos are definitely better than the Giants. It's a win-win, Sean. It's a win-win.
Donnie appreciates the suffering in sports. He's definitely, you're right, John 32. He's definitely bringing
I think you earned something from it for sure. It bonds you to the team.
See, that's where I should have gone to begin with. Like when I was first getting into the NFL.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you were like, I'm a Panthers fan.
No, but like the Broncos back then, it's like that like before.
Yeah, when Elway was there, it was not very good. They
That's
just kept
what I'm saying.
Terrible.
I'm saying a moment in time. There was a moment in time when before Manning got there. You know, it wasn't that amazing.
Yep.
I'm just flipping through images just to see what
pick.
I feel like my mind is made up though. I feel like you're disappointed.
Then there's nothing. You're not gonna disappoint me. Either one of these is better.
See, now I just don't know what to do with this information. Because people in my real life have seen me go from the Jets to the Giants already. And so
we did all of this for nothing.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with this information at this point. I don't know. But Broncos won. Definitely the Broncos are the winner.
See, if I had done this,
let me sleep on it.
If I had done this, like let's say the Browns like disappeared and I did this bracket would look infinitely different.
You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay, let me can I like restart? How do I go back?
I have no idea.
Well, let me see if I can do that. That'd be fun. Let's do it for you. I don't even know if I can.
Yeah, the bracket would have been completely different.
Well, let's just do a new
There
one.
are some things, there are definitely just some, I think, major differences either between the cities or how we view, I don't know, like uniforms. They seem to be really, I'm really into teams branding as well.
Yeah.
But I think maybe you more into color.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What
like
else is there?
like
Is
the
it kind of
blue-
like my mindset?
The blue
What do you-
thing is not a thing. I'm like, oh, I'm really partial to teams with blue.
Donnie's new NFL team is what we're
It's not gonna be my
calling
new
this.
NFL team because I'm a Browns fan.
Okay, asterisk next to new.
There you go. Donnie's second NFL team.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, we're playing this and we're starting today at 7 p.m.
Ooh, John 32 says this will sound dumb, but I feel like cheering for Denver and Carolina isn't impossible. So he says both.
Well, and that's the other like as a Canadian who doesn't have like a hometown to really cheer for, like I definitely have like matchups where I'm like, I want this team to win over this other team. Like,
No,
I definitely
that's the
have
worst.
that.
The worst possible thing is you could tell me you root for a dozen teams, like more than no.
But it could change. It depends on. I'm trying to say it depends on the matchup. I'm like, oh, I'd like whatever. I don't know. I should look at the team.
So that's the point, John, is that he needs a dog in the race. You can't root for multiple teams because then the wins and losses don't matter to you because you can always just like whoever's winning lately. You have to pick a team. It's different in college because there's 200 teams. So if I like 3 teams in college, but there's 200 teams. You know, like out of 32, you got to pick a team. So when they lose, it matters.
See, but there's like I feel like I watch hockey in that way as well. Like the Oilers aren't playing every single game. So if it's like the Flames versus the
Blackhawks,
but you
like the Oilers, that's the team that matters.
Right. Oh, so okay. So I guess I guess I made it read into what John was saying a little bit differently. But yeah, I'm not cheering for two. I'm not rooting for you can't do that.
Because that's the thing is you can't like Denver one year and then like the Panthers the next.
Agreed.
No. Or you can't even like the Panthers more one year than the other. Like you got to have the team. Yeah, this is the team. I'm gonna have the jersey and the hat for this team. This is it.
Well, I think you even saw like the way that my mind works on when a random game is coming up, which team I'm gonna just not root for. Like I'm never hoping. I'm never hoping the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win a game. I'm just like never not. So it doesn't matter who they play against.
So
reshuffle for Donnie.
Take the Browns out.
Well, they'll just lose the first one.
Right,
they're out. So Raiders take over there. Okay.
Then take out all the other NFC teams. I mean all the other AFC North teams. Okay. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincy, they're all gone.
Baltimore. So the Buccaneers go Cincy. Hang on, where are we?
Like these are just my hard stops. This will never happen.
Who did
I would rather not watch football than root for any of those teams. Baltimore.
We already took care of Baltimore. Who else?
The Steelers. They're at the bottom.
The Bears. Go forward. Okay.
And Pittsburgh. I mean, not Pittsburgh. Boston. I hate all Boston teams, so New England's out.
Sorry, Kevin.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a thing with him and Josh. They've just known from the beginning. I've always hated Boston teams. I hate the Red Sox, hate the Patriots, hate all Boston teams.
Okay, well, Packers go forward after that. So they'll be out.
That's an easy choice for me. All right. Now we get to have some fun.
Come on, website. Catch up. There we go.
All right.
Okay.
The Commanders are out in game 1 easily because that's a train wreck. The Commanders. That's terrible.
They had a chance, They could have picked
anything. They did. And I saw they were supposed to somebody floated the idea of calling them the Washington Red Tails. And they had like a fighter jet kind of thing because that was like a
that'd be awesome.
Flew in World War II. And I was like,
yep,
that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, that'd be way better. Yeah.
And they ruined it.
Mm-hmm. We had a similar thing with our CFL team. Not that I really want to talk about CFL all that much, but we were the Edmonton Eskimos. Yeah. Can't call them Eskimos anymore. So we went to the Edmonton Elks. You could have gone with anything.
Yeah, see, I think I do feel like I lucked out with the Cleveland Guardians. I wanted them to be called the Spiders, but the Guardians are a Cleveland thing, so I got it. And the funny thing was when they announced they were going to change the team, like the day, like not even the day, 5 minutes after the Cleveland Indians, like we're going to change the name, I looked at my wife and I was like, they're going to call them the Cleveland Guardians because
really?
Everybody in Cleveland knew that that's just like lowest common denominator, most Cleveland, most basic. Middle of the way, nobody's offended thing. Like everybody's like, they're going to be called the Cleveland
That's
Guardians.
The thing. They get replaced with these names. They're just,
and that's the thing is it wasn't exciting because we all knew it was coming. We're like, oh,
is it more of a coincidence? Like the DIANS, like is the same Guardians, Indians?
In Cleveland, there are these.
I know that, but it's like, that's what I mean. It's more of a coincidence that they happen to end in that way. Yeah.
The Chiefs take out the Chargers. I used to love the Chargers back in the day a little bit, but the Chiefs get it for just fan base appeal at all. The Cowboys. I don't think
over the Jets. Okay.
I don't think I could ever adopt the Cowboys because they're America's team. But like if I had been born in Texas, I would have loved being a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stadium.
I'll take the Bills.
Bills over the Seahawks.
Yeah. And I'll take the Vikings.
Vikings over the Texans.
And I'll take the Niners.
I think the Vikings might take them. Might go there. 49ers take out the Panthers. Titans take out the Falcons. I could have seen another version. Jags over the Rams.
Because I loved the Rams back when they were the Marshall Faulk Rams. The new Rams are not it.
Yeah.
I hate their rebranding. You talk about a bad rebranding. The Rams rebranding is about as terrible as it gets.
Will St. Louis ever get another team?
I hope so, but probably not.
Yeah.
Broncos.
Here we go. Broncos versus the Giants. That's funny.
Easy.
That got paired up.
It is funny they got paired up. Who's left?
Did that not do it? Broncos. Come on.
And then last game.
Colts versus the Dolphins.
Dolphins. And the Saints. Which I think has honestly one of the best uniforms in all of football.
I actually agree with that.
And the Saints are a team that I could adopt because my wife's family are all Saints fans.
My old roommate
I could easily throw on a Saints jersey. Nobody outside of people that know me online, nobody would know. Nobody would care.
Mm-hmm. Cardinals, Chiefs.
I really like the Cardinals though. They are like an outlier. Like I feel like I don't know anybody that's really a Cardinals fan, so it's like an easy thing to like get into.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, a lot of Ohio State folks live in Arizona. It's like a big thing for Buckeye fans. So I'll go with the Cardinals over the Chiefs.
That one seemed tough. Raiders. Cowboys.
Yeah, it's an easy one.
It's the first time ever that the Raiders beat the Cowboys.
This one's a little harder.
Bills and Vikings.
The Vikings, probably. Purple's my favorite color.
Yeah, I think Vikings are going the distance, man. 49ers,
the Niners,
Packers.
I'd love to be a San Francisco fan. Who would?
Jace is right there.
Yeah.
Tennessee and Jacksonville.
Yeah. I just couldn't. I don't think I could. You'll definitely feel like a northern bias. I don't think I could root for like Atlanta or Tennessee.
Philly, Denver,
Broncos.
It's gotta be Denver.
Yeah, you can't. Again, you can't adopt. You can't adopt.
Absolutely not.
You can't adopt Philadelphia or Green Bay. Like you've got to be from there. You can't adopt those teams.
Miami. Oh yeah. Easy. Oh, there goes Tampa Bay. Okay.
Easy.
I didn't realize how many teams were in Florida. Holy crap.
Yeah. And Jacksonville might get moved. There's a big thing that Jacksonville could be the Toronto Jaguars or the London Jaguars one day. That's been a That's been a thing for years. The NFL wants to put another team abroad, and it could just be moving Jacksonville.
You mean like London, England?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's been a thing.
I know they play there. Saints over the Bears.
Yeah. Is this like the worst podcast ever? Like I'm having fun, but like
I wonder
if that's all that matters, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, now it's a little tougher.
It's like you ever get that that point in a podcast, you're like, is anybody even listening? Like, yeah. Sweet hangs.
I'll take the Saints. Let's go with the easiest ones first.
Oh, we went down to Saints over the Dolphins. Okay. That isn't. I was like, that isn't easy.
Yeah, I thought it was easy when I first looked at it, but now I'm thinking, Saints. I'll go Saints. They just scratched that one out.
Broncos, Jags.
Jaguars. The Broncos have hurt me too much in my life.
I mean, that sounded like it hurt just for you to say. Niners, Vikings.
That feels like an easy one. Vikings.
What? Oh,
I should have
okay.
picked that one sooner. This was the one that's going to hurt.
Cardinals, Raiders.
Because I honestly think both these teams have a good chance. The Raiders.
You just have to go with your gut. I want more people to do this with games. I'm telling you, this is a fun thing to do with like determining what your next game to play. You play 50 games at a time, so you don't have to do this. You just play all the games. You somehow manage to not have to do this. Semifinals. Where do you want to start? Top or bottom?
See, and I hate this because
you know
the bottom team, the bottom bracket is not nearly as good as the top bracket.
So bottom bracket is Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New Orleans Saints.
We'll send Jacksonville forward. This is where the Saints get off the ride. This is the one. This is the one that hurts because this could be the final.
Raiders, Vikings.
I respect both of these franchises. I would, and like I said, in a world, I was a Vikings fan.
In a world,
it's my favorite color. I've been to the stadium. I respect Minnesota fans. It is like a factory of sadness up there. There is like a shared, there's a shared link between Browns fans, probably.
Oh, okay. I just thought you meant like in Minnesota is a factory.
Well, that's true too. But here's the thing. I would, in my entire life, for the rest of, or again, like the thesis of this experiment was, if the Browns left today, who would you pick?
Mm-hmm.
And I would pick the Raiders because I'm never ever going to go to Minnesota to watch them play. Where I absolutely would go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Like that's just an excuse to go to Vegas.
I think you just picked I think you did the thing.
Yeah. And you can send them on.
So it's Oakland Raiders on to the final against Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
And I think it's the Raiders. Sounds like it's the Raiders.
I picked the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wow.
Yep.
That's fun. I really like this. I mean, I already liked you can throw anything into this, like, you know how people do like the S. Remember what we did with Jace, the Mario Kart? Yeah, the tier rankings. Yeah. I like this just as much. You can throw anything into this.
I'm surprised that I sent Jacksonville as far as I did. But yeah. I guess they had an easier path. Like the path that they were on, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
I could have picked the Dolphins, but I probably still would have picked Jacksonville over the Dolphins.
Okay, so do I need to like change this shirt or something? Like, would have been amazing if we had some ability for somebody to go pick up like two jerseys.
It was like the NFL draft. They just had a box of all the hats.
Exactly.
Like, it's your draft pick, Sean Capri, fan of the Denver Broncos.
And get the hat put on and then ship the one that I didn't pick to Africa.
And then I could root for the Raiders, and then we would be rivals.
Would that be okay?
I didn't realize that panned out that way until now. But yeah,
I wonder if anybody even watches NFL.
And also the way that it played out, the bracket played out, like I could have seen the Raiders and the Vikings in the finals.
Yeah.
That's
always my wonder. Like with the bracket
Bills
system
further. Yeah, like in a different spread, some other teams could have advanced.
That's what I'm wondering though. Like, do you end up with like the best, or is it just like, does the best actually get taken out somewhere earlier?
Yeah,
right.
Matter. If the best play each other, then you're left with the lesser of two at the end.
Yeah, it kind of blows my mind a little bit.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of looking at it. Whereas if we do like tier rankings, it would be really different. Yeah,
tier rankings is almost like to do the seeding.
Yeah, no. Like if we had taken all these teams and put them in like,
and that's the end of it. Yeah,
yeah, like best to worst. Then I would think, then Oakland and Minnesota would both be S tier, and then all the other teams like Jacksonville and Arizona and Denver and the Saints and Miami, they'd be a tier below. They'd be A tier. They would drop down a little, in my mind.
Did you ever play Madden? Like, did you drop off of Madden?
No.
Like, I don't want to get into it.
I don't like the new Madden.
Yeah.
And I was really excited for this year's Madden because they were clamoring all these changes. And then I got into the game eventually after just a giant mess of EA play. I eventually got into Madden and then I played it and it was like, oh, but it's not really different at all, is it? It's like, you press, it's like the button's different, but it's basically just Madden. And the problem with Madden now, in my mind, is that it's just too, scripted, and it feels very stiff and kind of robotic, and the animations are kind of locked in, and it just doesn't feel as arcadey and fun to play as it used to. And it's not at all with and a lot of people are like, I don't like the simulation.
Yeah.
I don't think that's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because the realism is nice and the visuals are nice. And I like how they like the style of offense and how you can read zones and stack the box. Like that's all relevant to the NFL game. It's just how it feels to play is poor. And that's the most scared thing that I have about the upcoming NCAA football game. Is if the upcoming NCAA football game is like that, it's going to be heartbreaking.
It's such an opportunity. I mean, it's kind of the way that used to go, though, right? They were not the same. They would try new things in NCAA, and then maybe integrate that into
NCAA
Madden.
has always been a more arcadey and faster than the Madden game.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I might see now. I'm just all into NFL right now. I was just checking the scores and checking on my Broncos. Donnie,
how'd that feel? How's that feel?
Broncos feel right, man. They really do. I feel like that was the right decision for me personally.
Denver's a cool town.
Denver is a cool town.
I like Denver. If I hit the lottery, I might move to Denver.
It would take that, right?
Or Denver-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mountain town.
Yeah, I would definitely probably move out west.
Poshy.
I wouldn't move to Cleveland.
I like horses.
I love Cleveland, but I'm not going to live there. I might have like a summer place. I'm not going to spend my winters in Cleveland. Sure, hell, I'm not doing that.
People who live in Cleveland don't spend their winters in Cleveland.
Right. Exactly. It's like, nope, not doing that.
Oh my gosh. That was fun.
I had fun. It was fun. It was a fun exercise.
Okay, so I gotta go get a jersey now.
Get Broncos jersey. Put that Giants shit up on eBay.
Probably could.
Could have been Browns fan, man. Get Brownie the Elf. Could rock an awesome Brownie the Elf gear.
It's weird because like I worry about the people who have seen me do the change from the Jets to the Giants and be like, oh, another team. And it's like, I don't see any of those people anymore.
There you go. Then you're free and clear.
I really don't. I see them like once a year. Yeah.
Just tell them you changed teams. Be like, I met this guy. He told me how much the Giants sucked, so we switched.
Yeah. Why didn't you guys tell me that?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for making me look like a dweeb in my Giants jersey.
Exactly. I don't
showed up to the fantasy. I showed up to the fantasy draft in the Giants jersey.
I like this jersey.
You look like it's kind of like I'm trying to think. So like you know the movie Caddyshack?
No, never heard of it.
When he brings the guy in, they're playing golf, and he just like starts throwing everything on him. You know, he's just like, you take one of these, and I get 8 of those. He puts the hat on him, puts the thing on him. He just looks like the most, like off the rack golfer.
Yeah, that's me.
You in the Giants jersey.
Yeah.
You're like, I saw this jersey, and
don't you want to?
I'm a Giants fan.
You want to see my bathrobe? My Giants bathrobe, red Giants bathrobe. It's great. It's glorious.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I had a hoodie. It was a gorgeous hoodie.
I miss the old Giants script that they used to put on the helmet.
See, the thing is, like,
I'm not with the NY. That's nonsense.
I'm not regretting where we went with this, but like, I go to New York almost every year. Like, I can actually get current stuff when I go there.
Well, the great thing about New York City is you can get anything. You can buy Broncos gear in New York City.
I guess.
The only thing good about the Giants is Bill Parcells. That was 40 years ago. I don't know, man. I just, again, I have call it Midwestern blue collar thing. I have a thing against, big market teams. And the funny thing is,
you're not the only one. This isn't a you thing.
I'm an Indians Guardians fan, right? I don't hate the Yankees. Like everybody in baseball hates the Yankees. Yeah. I don't. I watched a lot of the Yankees play because the New York Yankees owned the Columbus Clippers.
Yeah.
So when I was little, I used to watch the Yankees play like minor league ball when they were warm ups and spring training and stuff like that. So I don't hate the Yankees.
Yeah.
And I don't root for them when they're playing. When my team's playing them, I don't like them. But I root for the Yankees to beat Boston. I really loathe Boston. Is like bottom of the level for me.
Celtics,
Patriots, all of it. I can't stand it.
I was going to say I've only seen the Yankees play the Red Sox, but that's not true. I saw the Blue Jays lose to somebody a couple of years ago. That's it. I don't even watch baseball though. Bobby liked it. Bobby lived in Jersey and he cheered for the Yankees.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Who else would you?
You could be a Boston fan. I mean, any of those teams kind of clustered there. Be a Baltimore fan.
Yeah. Well, that was Bobby Miller.
The Orioles.
Baltimore Orioles. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I couldn't be. I hated Jersey. I think I used to give him shit about that. I've been to Jersey once, and it was like the most miserable experience. I would never go back again.
What's wrong with Jersey?
It was really. Actually. You should go.
I've been to his house. I've been to Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I've been to. I think it was called Vinland. I think that.
Well, I went to Newark.
I've been to Newark. Flew into Newark. You just fly in when you go.
It was at the
York.
Prudential Center.
Yeah.
Where the Devils play.
Oh, I was in. Oh man, where was Giant Stadium? Where's MetLife?
I don't know.
Rock something. No.
Sure.
No
idea.
It's not coming to mind. It was on the back of my sheet.
Doesn't matter.
Back of my shirt
anymore. Because Sean Capri is a Broncos fan.
It's weird wearing this one.
Likes the Denver Broncos. And now we are mortal enemies. You picked
oh damn,
the bane of my entire existence.
You're welcome. That sounds about right.
The Browns and the Broncos were the two best teams in the AFC for 6 years in the 80s.
So we started off talking about how we don't really fight anymore.
John Elway led the drive, which broke the Browns' hearts. And then the following year, Eric Metcalf fumbled the fumble on the goal line that would have sent us to the Super Bowl to the Broncos.
Yep.
I think
it's not meant to happen. I don't think it's meant to happen. You should probably take that as a sign.
Oh, I think a lot of Cleveland fans take the Browns as a sign that it's not meant to happen. That's the endearing part of it, is that we suffer together.
I guess
we don't quit. But the thing is, eventually, I may never see it, but eventually it'll pay off. Can't be down forever.
See, but it doesn't seem like I'm quitting the Giants when they're just not. They haven't been good for a long time.
Yeah, but they just suck.
They're flashy.
It's not about it. They're not flashy. What is flashy about the Giants?
I mean, the money. They have money. They can buy whatever player they want.
What? There's a salary cap in the NFL. Nobody operates like that.
What?
If anybody, the team that acts like that, that's the Cowboys. You keep describing the Cowboys.
Well, that's it. That is it. Cowboys, Giants, very similar.
Fan.
I don't want to be a Cowboys fan. That's not the alluring part about it.
They're not similar at all.
The Giants and the Cowboys are not similar at all.
What giant big spending free agent did the Giants get?
I don't know.
I'm waiting. You said they're flashy, spending money.
I feel like they do spend money. I don't know.
Bank? Where?
I don't know.
He left. Saquon.
He left. Didn't he go to who did Odell Beckham Jr. go to? Didn't he go to Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Yeah, I feel like that was the one. That was the recent one that I was thinking of.
Right? They traded him.
Well, because he was toxic.
They drafted him and they traded him again.
Bye-bye.
So they're not spending any money. They're not breaking the bank for anybody.
I guess not.
I think they paid OCU and Yor a lot of money back in the day.
I feel like Manning made a lot of money.
I'm sure he did.
And especially in years when he was just kind of riding
for a team that liked that. I couldn't imagine rooting for Eli Manning team.
He was just so goofy.
Do you realize it is the most prima donna thing what he did when he entered the league?
I don't know what happened.
He refused to play for the team that drafted him.
Oh, I did know that. Yes.
It was the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no.
Yeah, dude. Who's the other quarterback who was drafted at the exact same time? Phillip Rivers. That's right. Yeah.
And the Giants or the Chargers drafted Manning. He was like, no, absolutely not. I will not play for you.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty.
Made them trade. He forced them to trade him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've always wanted a general manager just to call somebody's bluff and tell them to fuck off. I would have and just do it in that fashion. Hey, you drafted Peyton Manning or Eli Manning. He says he's not going to play with you guys. Well, I guess he's not going to play anywhere. He can sit his ass at home. Because if he's going to play, he's going to play for the San Diego Chargers.
Can you imagine?
I would love for somebody to say, yeah, guess what? Little boy doesn't get everything he wants. I don't care who his dad is. Okay, we have the draft, the NFL for a reason. You're playing for us. So we'll see you at training camp, kid.
I feel like there's a lot of that, though. I mean, not exactly that.
Your contract ends in 5 years. You can go play in New York then. Yeah, there's a lot of that in the NBA. There is a lot of that in the NBA. In the NBA, there's a lot of players that force their ways out. Not so much in the NFL. You got to really have some stroke to do that. And they were lucky that the Giants were willing to play ball.
Who is the dude on the Panthers quarterback? Why am I blanking on his name?
Cam Newton.
Yeah, Cam Newton. Yeah. I feel like he was kind of whiny about stuff in the early days. I don't know if it was exactly the same about No, he said he didn't want to be drafted by that team. He did say that. He didn't make as big a stink as Manning did.
I don't
But he
remember
definitely, but I mean, that's just the way that it works.
Yeah.
These guys get first pick because they suck.
You don't have a choice.
That's the way that it goes. Like, you're going to be the best player going on to the worst team.
Yep.
And that's the way that this is designed.
Yep. Because I'm sure if you let that happen too often, then nobody would ever want to play for the bad teams.
Right.
Like, that's the whole point of the draft to begin with.
Well, it's funny that it kind of comes full circle here, because that's kind of like, wouldn't you want to be such a great player that you took a franchise from the bottom of the barrel, the bottom, like that worst team, and you take them all the way? Like, and that's the fandom.
That's what I'm saying is when a team like the Chiefs make it, when a team like the Browns make it, or the Raiders make it, or the Bills, that's what the Bills are going through right now.
Yeah.
You know, like that's this is their moment. They've been waiting their entire life for this, you know, like Jim Kelly died trying to like get this back on the rails. Yeah. And that one hurts a lot because I really wanted their quarterback the year that he came out.
But sometimes I think, and this is gonna, I don't know anybody who lives in Buffalo, but it's like a team that's coming from a city that seems like it's going bankrupt. That's kind of like, that's taking your sentiment a little too far. Like, it seems like the city of Buffalo or the city of Detroit is like a bad credit card away from just being completely bankrupt.
Like, the NFL makes way too much money. Now,
I'm not saying the teams, I'm saying the cities.
I could hear your argument for like Jacksonville. Jacksonville might get moved.
Yeah,
that's a real
I'm not saying the franchise. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying the cities themselves, like Buffalo.
Do you ever watch the old show Coach?
No. Oh, I know the show, but I never watched it.
He went. There was a couple seasons at the end before they canceled the show where he went to the NFL. Yeah, and I think he played for like the Orlando Breakers or something like that. Okay, and Jacksonville very much feels like that team. Like Jacksonville's just not a great home sports market. Yeah. So they're probably going to move them to a better market. But the owner of the Jags has a bajillion. He's got all the money in the world, so he can do whatever he wants. Like, he can literally just keep them in Jacksonville and burn money.
But do you see how, like, there's a lot of rules as far as like picking a team, and this is what keeps people out of stuff. Is like, oh, well, I guess I got to do it the right way. And so a lot of people just go like, well, I guess I just won't do it at all.
That's fine. I'd rather you not do it at all than do it the wrong way.
Well, that's how I ended up with the Jets at first, is because it seemed like
the Jets were respectable.
But I wasn't having fun with it. I just never felt like.
Of course not. You were a Jets fan.
I know, but I never felt like I care. I never felt like I cared if the Jets won or lost. Like you picked a team, and it's like, okay, well, that's step one.
No,
I just didn't care.
You got to be invested.
Right. And that's actually like, if there's anything to take out of leaving the Giants, like, I haven't turned on a Giants game in I don't know how long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, I have you should be invested. You need a team with stakes, something to play for.
Yeah.
To set the hook, get you in.
And I think the division has a lot to do with it as well. We didn't really go over this, but it's like, okay, Dallas and Philly.
Yeah, West team makes sense for you, especially your time zone.
Yeah.
You probably get more games out west available in Canada than Eastern games anyway.
Yeah.
Not just time zone, but just probably in availability. Like market availability.
I think so. I think Denver for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
Denver,
almost all Seattle.
San
Seattle.
Fran. Yeah, I could see way more of those games out there than
a Seattle.
Than a like New York Giants Philadelphia game.
We had so much Seattle games here in coverage about the Seahawks. Like, it would like default NFL coverage in Canada was like, or at least my part of Canada was like the Seahawks. It's as if they were playing here.
Yeah.
And they're always confused. I'm like, who are the Seahawks? Like, who is this? What is, like, as a kid growing up, I always knew CFL. And
dude, you missed the opportunity to jump on when the game was good.
One of my good friends
forever, and then you could have jumped on, and they were great for a long time.
One of my very, very longest friends, she is her whole family diehard Seahawks fan, and she ate shit for she is.
Yes,
you would love her actually. I'd love for you guys to chat one time. It'd be fun to hear. She ate shit for years and years, and all these. Dude, she knows more about football than everybody I know put together.
Talking about all these Flash, the Legion of Boom, Pete Carroll. Dude, come on.
Yep.
I don't root against the Seahawks. Like when the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl and stuff, I was like, yeah, I want Seattle to win.
Yeah.
You know,
that close.
That's true. Very close.
Like that close.
And the Rams ruined it. I used to love St. Louis, man. Those old blue and gold helmets. Kurt Warner
so
and shit,
opposite. I couldn't
they
stand those jerseys.
Good.
That's so.
And then you see the new ones. They look like goats with their stupid circle. It was so dumb. It's awful.
I love it.
It's terrible. It's like they're like a generic version of the Chargers now.
Yeah,
they're like an Aldi brand, like a Walmart knockoff of the
that's
Chargers.
funny you say that. I actually get confused.
Yeah,
like I really do.
They used to have like a brand. They had their own thing, man. They had their own identity. They're the fastest show on turf, man. Spread the ball, throw it all over the yard, dome team, fast as hell, and it just all went to shit.
See, I'm if a buddy of mine didn't already claim the Steelers, I would almost pick them because everybody hates them.
Oh my god, I hate the Steelers so much.
Ground and pound. I mean, it's kind of the Jets were kind of like that when they were.
They are decently. I mean, the Patriots obviously because they've got all the rings, but the Steelers are like the classic example of stability, and success.
Yeah.
You know, they just win all the time. But the funny thing is, the Steelers fans
will make you win all the time.
The Steelers fans will make you think that they've always been the way. The Steelers were dregs in like the 70s, and they sucked. Like in the 80s, they were terrible.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's the thing. It's cyclical. It's cyclical, and I'm waiting for the Browns' time to come back around.
Yeah,
and it's probably not this year, but it might be next year. Like when we have
for the Steelers.
No, for the Browns. When we have a full year with Deshaun Watson with the team we currently have.
Yeah,
we're gonna be a problem for people.
Mark your calendars. We'll see. Just fast forward to next year.
They can find a way to not cough the game away like they did today. Although I feel like today was such a rare, today is like such a throw out the bathwater type of example. Yeah. Today can't happen again. Like that's ridiculous. That was just a confluence of errors.
Who do they play next week?
Steelers Thursday.
Oh snap! That sounds awesome.
Steelers come to the dog pound.
Last year was it?
And guess what? If they win, nobody will give a shit about losing to the Jets in extreme fashion because we love to beat the Steelers.
I actually want to watch this game.
When we beat the Steelers in the playoffs and Ben Roethlisberger was crying on the bench, that made Cleveland happy all summer. We were all happy all summer long. We just kept posting that photo over and over again. And the Steelers fans were like, we beat you most of the time. It's like, yeah, but nobody can take this away from us. Yep. Nobody can. Look at them crying.
Do we need to start some sort of like watch along thing?
I wouldn't even know how. I can't even watch the games unless they're like on Amazon or something.
I know, but like, oh, damn it.
I don't have the Sunday ticket package or whatever. I can only watch games. I primarily watch through the Red Zone, or I just watch things on Twitter, right? Clips and videos and stuff as they come.
Would it work if I bought it and got like a VPN and we do like a Haley Pass kind of thing? But for
that'd be interesting. I'd be interested to know if that could work. If that could work, then I'd be definitely interested in pitching in.
I wonder if anybody does that right now.
But even if not, I mean, I've thought about getting the NFL Plus because the NFL Plus lets you listen to the Gamecast, like the radio.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm down with that too. I don't need to like physically watch it because all the scoring plays get uploaded to Twitter instantly anyway. Like every time a team scores a touchdown, you get to see the play.
Well, and that's actually how I mostly kind of consume NHL, like with hockey. I could watch any game I wanted.
I've thought about because often when I'm watching, when I have the Red Zone on, like today when I had the Red Zone on, I was playing volleyball.
Yeah.
And when I had the second half, I had the Red Zone on, I was cleaning up the basement. So like that's typically a thing for me is when I'm watching sports, I'm typically also doing something. So listening to it's fine. And I think the audio for NFL games like $20. It's super cheap. It's nothing. So yeah,
I don't know if I would. I would want it on TV. Like I would want to like rewind it. I guess. Like you just like, oh, what did I miss? And like just like bounce back a couple.
That's the thing in America. There's the NFL Pass Plus.
Yeah,
which gets you the live audio, and then you get rewind. You can watch the games on demand after they've aired.
Yeah,
so you can go back and watch every play, and you can rewind and all that. But
there is a part of me that wonders if I would enjoy like the 37-minute version of the games where they just go play to play to
commercials, cut the penalties. And that's the other thing. They upload that like within an hour after the game is over. That's on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like they hold a premium for watching it live, but they also like chip away at the value of that in every other channel.
Right.
Like if you just have any ounce of patience, you're like, why would I pay you $300? Like if I could just watch it right here 30 minutes later.
That is funny. There's something about sports just in general that I don't want to do that. But why?
Yeah.
Like if I'm able to just not go on Twitter or find out what the score is, it's the same.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, that's a big, like, stupid mental hurdle.
To me, it is the social experience. I actually
big time.
I follow on Twitter. That's how I follow the game. And generally, I probably pay more attention to Twitter, even if, like, say, okay, so for example, like this Thursday's game is on Amazon Prime, so I can totally watch the Browns versus Steelers.
Yeah.
Right.
You can watch on Twitch, I think.
Yeah. So I'll probably be paying more attention to Twitter than I will the game. Because I have a curated sports list of all the writers and all the announcers and everything. So
yeah,
I'm getting more intel, like who's in, who's out, replays of plays and stuff like that. I'll still have the game on, I'll be watching it, but I'll be sitting there tweeting and seeing everybody's thoughts and stuff.
I'm telling you, man, there is nothing quite like just watching football with friends. I watched a lot of hockey with friends, you know, like, I don't know what it is.
That's true.
I guess just the way the game is designed, the fact that, and this is the getting into the whole, like, watching it live, and I don't really want to watch the play-to-play stuff. Like, it's just, it is why I'm watching, but not the entirety of it. Like, I like that there's a minute in between plays, and I like that you can kind of like watch that replay 14 times before the next play comes and all that kind of stuff. CFL is not like that at all. Canadian Football League gets a much shorter play clock and 3 downs, and it's like it's just everything that, like, takes the fun out of watching football.
Yeah,
it's just dumb. I don't like it.
I've seen some of that.
It's
when I was more into scouting and stuff, I would follow, you know, kids that I knew that went up to Canada to play football.
Yeah, I don't think it's very interesting at all.
There are a lot of ex-Buckeyes up there. It is interesting that they don't. You would think that there would be a really great opportunity to mimic the NFL and just be like the feeder system, you know, place for people to play. And it's like they just went in their own way.
It's such a pride thing to, like, not be a lesser than
doing it.
Yeah. A fat ball. You know, the ball's bigger. It's like,
but you're totally less. Like, it's totally less than anyway.
Yeah, there's no way around it.
Yeah, you made it worse, actually.
Totally,
like the opposite way, where you could have given folks like a, you know, more of a reason to go there.
Well, it's a different game. Like, that's the thing is people have it. It really, like, the 3 downs is ridiculous.
And they're really high scoring games. They really chuck the ball around and do all that.
Well, because it's full motion, like those guys, the wide receivers are in full sprint when the ball is snapped.
Because they tried doing that NFL Europe thing for a while. That tried to get caught on. It would have made more sense to do that in Canada. Because American football is very much like a North American thing. That's like a thing that North America knows.
Yeah, it's
the
funny.
Rest of the world doesn't do that.
The end zone is at least, I think it's twice as big. I think it's a 20-yard end zone.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like, it's ridiculous. You're on the goal line and you're just like, run wherever you want.
Yeah.
Like, you have so much space. I don't know. There's almost no running game because you only have 2 downs really before you punt it away.
I think somebody got in my Discord account. If you see me, I keep looking off to the side. That's why.
All my Canadian friends are just furious with me. Or I'm just, like, denouncing. I denounce our Thanksgiving and I denounce our football league.
What in the hell? I got a thing that says verify Discord login from new location.
That's me. I figured through our exexercise of the.
That's the scary part. You know, it says it's the location I logged in from was Buffalo, New York. It's like, I don't know about that.
Who's Sunday night tonight?
It doesn't give me a thing to say to, like, be like, that wasn't me, which is bonkers because, like, this is not very helpful.
Hit the Shaggy button.
This message they sent me, it's not very helpful at all. It's like, okay. So I think I need to enable 2-factor authentication.
Jalen Waddle in our fantasy league gets 40 points.
I don't do
11 receptions, 100. Oh, you got to get on this, man.
I don't do
171 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is nuts.
Fantasy just took way too much of my life.
Well, it doesn't have to.
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't, but, like, the way that I am. Plus, it was just so time consuming, and I didn't have time to follow all the things.
Yeah,
like obsessive.
No, I should be doing better. Yeah, I should be.
And I'm like, I don't want to do all that.
Yeah.
So I got off the fantasy wagon a couple years ago, and it totally, like, offends people. People are like, "Hey, you should be in my fantasy league," and I'm like, I don't do fantasy no more.
Like, how dare you?
Oh,
it's the Bears and Packers right now.
What's the score?
I just know that they're playing. What the hell is the score? Green Bay 10, Chicago 7. Green Bay is in the red zone.
Okay.
All right. How is this for a podcast? This might go down as
It was something.
the
3
best
hours.
podcast. It was 3 hours of a podcast. Thanks, you guys, for listening.
As always, it didn't feel that long.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
Yeah, didn't feel that way.
Other than a little hunger. I'm a little hungry.
I was just about to say I gotta go eat. I gotta get my dogs. You don't hear them screaming and all that. Yeah, I do gotta go.
Well, next week or whenever month. I feel like we do this weekly. We really don't. I'll be off the rack. What do you call it? An off the rack fan?
Yeah.
I'll have all the things.
Russell Wilson jersey, baby.
Yeah.
You should get
weird. That's so.
You should get a rookie jersey. Like, don't get a Wilson jersey.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Get like Jared Judy jersey or something.
I'll have to study up. I got to learn this team.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a tiny
sweet hangs, Donnie.
Plays left tackle for the Denver Broncos. Linebacker.
I'm gonna find all that out.
Have fun.
And you know who the coach is.
Okay.
Hit the button.
Hit the button.
Hit the button.